Through 7 playoff games so far, Carolina's given up the first goal. That they're 3-2 in those games is a testament to their ability to keep the damage to a minimum, but chasing the game is not the way the Hurricanes want to do it. Complicating matters, the Caps were the best first-period team in the NHL this year. They were plus 19 in goal differential. Hurricanes only plus 4, tied for 11th best in the NHL. Back with lineups and more after these words from your local stations on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
Welcome spring with a ride on the Go Carry Downtown Loop. Skip looking for parking and enjoy fare-free, convenient trips to all your favorite downtown spots, like Downtown Cary Park, the Cary Regional Library, and the Cary Theater. The Loop runs Thursday through Sunday every 25 minutes. Driving? Park at the Town Hall parking deck and hop on the Downtown Loop. With the free Go Carry app, you can plan your trip and track your bus in real time. Visit GoCarry.org to learn more. Your downtown adventure awaits.
Enjoying the game? Hempy's can help. Hempy's is North Carolina's favorite hemp and CBD shop, and as long as you order before 9 p.m., local same-day delivery is absolutely free. Hempy's products are made with clean, natural ingredients, and each product is lab-tested to ensure quality and safety. Visit hempys.co to check out the inventory. And remember, orders placed before 9 p.m. get free same-day delivery. Or you can always stop by one of their 8 locations in North Carolina. Must be 21 or older to order. That's hempys.co.
Guys, Marcy Bailey here from Bailey's Fine Jewelry with some diamond advice. Buying an engagement ring doesn't have to be so complicated. We've been doing this since 1948, and we know what women want. A combination of size and quality. And a little hint here, size wins big. We guarantee you can be in and out in under an hour, and she'll love the ring or your money back. It's that easy. Come see why we're voted the best place to buy a diamond. And remember, every woman wants a Bailey box.
For a team that has historically struggled on the power play in the postseason, the Hurricanes are 7 for 25 with the man advantage through 7 games. 6 of those of the goals came against the Devils, including the series-ending Sebastian Aho one-timer. Carolina was stymied on their first 5 tries against Washington, but the penalty kill is pretty good. 19 out of 20 in the playoffs. Real quick check around the NHL playoffs. Vegas will be in Edmonton tonight, game 3 of that series. Edmonton coming off another comeback win, their 6th straight comeback win in the playoffs after falling behind 2-0 against LA. And they'll have Stuart Skinner back in goal. And think about this from a Vegas point of view. 1 goal combined from Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, and you trail in the series 2-0. And 3 of the next 4 games will be, or 5 games will be on Edmonton's ice. Last night, Florida got back in the series with a 2-1 overtime win. Brad Marchand got that. 5-4 win for the Panthers. Winnipeg shut out Dallas. Hard to believe Mikko Rantanen didn't score a goal. Didn't get a hat trick. But the Jets have drawn even in that series. Now let's get to injuries and scratches, brought to you by UNC Health, official healthcare provider of the Carolina Hurricanes. Mark Jankowski is injured, undisclosed, but he is out. Tyson Jost, Juha Jaska, Alexander Nikishin, Scott Morrow, Riley Stillman, Ty Smith, and goaltender Spencer Martin are healthy extras. Sebastian Aho, Jackson Blake, Andrei Svechnikov are the forward trio to start. Jordan Stahl, Jordan Martin, and Seth Jarvis, and as Chip said, it was early in the pregame, they will match up with the Tom Wilson, Pierre-Luc Dubois line. Jesperi Kotkaniemi with Taylor Hall and Logan Stankoven. It is Jack Roslovic, who played very well, I thought, in game number 2. He'll be with Eric Robinson and William Carrier. On the back end, Jacob Slavin and Brent Burns, Dmitry Orlov and Jalen Chatfield, Shane Gostisbehere, and Sean Walker. This group has 6 goals in the postseason. Slavin and Gostisbehere with 2 each. It'll be Frederik Andersen in net. He is 4-2, 155 goals against average, and a .930 save percentage. He stopped 18 of 20 shots in game 2, and it'll be Logan Thompson once again in net for Washington, and he has been absolutely brilliant. He is 5-2 in the playoffs and a .931 save percentage. We're getting ready for game 3. Caps and Canes, there hasn't been anything in between these two. Other than the empty net goal, these two teams have each scored 3 times in 2 games. Mike and Tripp will have period 1, game 3, round 2, after these words from your local stations on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
Make your next tailgate more electric when you plug into a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Not only do they light up the scoreboard with outstanding payload and towing numbers, with available Pro Power on board, you can turn these Ford trucks into mobile generators to give your tailgate party an extra boost of energy. Visit your Carolina Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com for great offers and to learn more about F-150 and Super Duty. See Owner's Manual for important operating instructions.
What if, instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you could choose one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon, with big bank reliability and small bank resolve. You get 160 years of financial strength and stability and an enduring commitment to personal service. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all. To help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank. Visit firsthorizon.com/getitall.
Find mom's best gift at Target. Now through Mother's Day, get up to 40% off gifts for her. Discover trendy apparel and swimwear that'll elevate any wardrobe. Jewelry that'll make her smile shine brighter, and even chocolate that'll turn any moment into something sweeter. There are endless options to choose from to show her she's the best. Hurry! Save 20 to 40% on select apparel, jewelry, chocolates, and more this Mother's Day only at Target. Restrictions apply.
From Carolina winters to our very sunny summers, as America's exterior remodeler, Window World is here to keep families across the Triangle comfortable year-round. If you need new windows, siding, doors, and more, look no further than your locally owned Window World, the Triangle's most trusted and America's largest exterior remodeler. A proud sponsor of the Canes, Window World will get your home looking great on the outside while saving on energy costs inside. Get in touch with them today and request a free quote. Window World of Raleigh and Fayetteville. Improving homes, changing lives.
Welcome to game number 3 of the second round of the Stanley Cup playoff matchup between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Washington Capitals. This series tied at 1 after the first 2 games being played up in D.C. Hello, everyone, alongside Tripp Tracy. I'm Mike Maniscalco. Tripp, as we get ready for face-off here tonight, what are you expecting out of the Carolina Hurricanes?
Well, my hope is the regular season is a different animal, but when Washington was here late in the regular season, Carolina won the game in the first period, and they chased goaltender Logan Thompson in the process. And what I love more than anything about that first period, Mike, their power play scored, but they got to the inside offensively in layers, right from the opening faceoff. So that's my hope here tonight in a pivotal Game 3.
We'll see if the Canes can get there as we are ready for face-off. The Canes will start off with the captain, Jordan Staal, flanked by Jordan Martinook and Seth Jarvis. And here we go. Game 3 is underway. Washington wins the draw. They'll center one into the Cane zone. It'll be chipped around the boards. Hacked at by Martinook out of the zone and back out. And now Jarvis trying to make a play here on Chychrun, and he does with a steal set back for Staal, and that's just bounced halfway through. And now coming the other way, here's Tom Wilson. Wilson in on a break. Andersen with the save. Oh, Mr. Andersen tested early 30 seconds in and comes up with an A+ save. Now Staal back the other way for Carolina. Jarvis from the circle right on. Thompson makes the save. Puck along the right wing boards. Wilson, he'll get it out to Dowd. It'll be chipped back for McMichael. He'll just flip this into the Cane zone. In Carolina, will work it back. Slavin, he'll take a hit along the boards, but able to clear it out. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, his centering attempt, finds Nick Dowd for the Capitals. He'll skate down the left wing boards in the Cane zone. Long drive through traffic, doesn't get through. Orlov pumps his man off the puck. Beauvillier will come up with it. He'll play it back to the point. Sandin will keep it in. It'll work its way around. Shot right on. Another save, Andersen. Rebound is free, and that'll be knocked away. Kotkaniemi knocks it away from Beauvillier. And this one will go out of play. 1:27 gone by here in the first.
Boy, some good chances at both ends. Seth Jarvis, his first shift, really impressive to me. And hopefully that's a harbinger, Mike, of things to come. But then Tom Wilson, who was Washington's best player in Game 2, a clear-cut breakaway. Orlov got caught right outside the offensive blue line. And Wilson was trying to go backhand, forehand at top speed to open up Andersen, moving from side to side, contesting that breakaway. And his stick stayed square the entire time. Huge save. And then he made a couple follow-up ones leading to this stoppage in traffic.
Face-off now to the right of Andersen, won by Washington. That shot flung off of the end boards. It'll bounce right out, and the Canes will skate it away into the Washington zone. Drop back for Aho from Blake. He'll put it into the corner. That'll be spanked around. It's Svechnikov. Gets it to Aho. He'll be chopped down. Strome. Canes, though, keep it in. Aho looks to center. That'll be knocked away by Roy. Burns with it, keeping it the right point just for the second. And now it's the Capitals able to roll this one back into the Canes zone. Andersen will help it around. Burns. He locates Aho. He'll hand this one off for Hall. Aho goes for a change. Hall down the right wing boards. Looking for a pass. He's able to get it to Stankoven. Stankoven. He'll wind it back. Gostisbehere. Right back down the boards for Stankoven. 5'8" Logan Stankoven, but he doesn't play like it. Way bigger than his size as Washington will get to this puck and flip it in the Canes zone. Now, turnover behind the net. Andersen makes a save. He didn't know where it was, and the rebound will be kicked to safety by his defense, Gostisbehere. Now it's Stankoven with it. He'll cross the Washington blue line. Roslovic. He's in his second consecutive game. Is Mark Jankowski out with an undisclosed injury, and this puck is iced by Washington. 17-17 left here in the first.
Washington, who was an elite road team this year, they've had a good start. They had a breakaway from Wilson, and then they just established the goal line, getting a puck deep, leading to a grade A chance. Andersen was moving from his post to his left, and he made a save with his arm snug on the body. Oh my gosh, on the blocker side. Tremendous save. It was on Radish, who was inserted into the lineup for Leonard going into Game 2. To be able to bring the arm and the body together like he did on the blocker side as he was moving, that was impressive. Great save.
Now the first three shots of the game have gone to Washington. Dmitry Orlov lets one go, and that's just wide of Logan Thompson's crease, and Carolina can't keep this puck in. They'll have to retreat to their own zone. Andersen will play it around the boards. Orlov takes a hit from Wilson. Canes looking to clear. McMichael keeps it in, but kicks it to Chatfield, who plays it up for Stahl. Knocked away from Stahl, and the puck plays its way in between the blue lines. Orlov now. You get a little help, knocking this one in from Martinook. Capitals will get to it. Chikrin's pass will be deflected into the Canes zone. Orlov will play it for Chatfield. 16:35 left here in the first period. Kotkaniemi. He'll get this one in deep. Down the left wing boards it goes. Gostisbehere wants to keep it in. He does. Kotkaniemi will have it now inside the blue line. Tries to fire a shot, but that's deflected just wide. And Beauvillier, he'll come up with it. Pestered there by Carrier. Carrier, he'll work it to the point. Walker. Canes looking to make a shot through traffic. It was Kotkaniemi, and Thompson with a tough save with a couple of Canes out in front. Now Walker with a nice play just outside of his blue line. He'll knock this puck down, and Carolina can take possession. Gostisbehere.
I like this matchup, Mike, at home. Aho against the Ovechkin line. We haven't seen that a lot because you haven't had last change. I like the matchup in Stahl against Wilson.
What do you like about it?
Just because Wilson, who was outstanding in Game 2, in his physicality, you don't want that against the Aho line. That's why I like it.
Ovechkin was knocked down by Burns, and he looked for a call. And that doesn't happen, and now the Canes work this one back into the Washington zone, but quickly flipped right out. Ovechkin will get it. He tries to work his way on Burns. There's some veteran-on-veteran experience there. Cross-ice pass. Too far. Protas can't handle it. Svechnikov wants to snap a shot through. That's blocked. Second opportunity is Aho on the rebound. Washington getting in front of that. That's been a theme in the first two games. Now Orlov with it. That's blocked. Strome was out in front. Roy got a piece too. Along the boards it goes. Canes can keep it in. Here's a chance. Dancing with his Hall with a shot. Rebound. Orlov goes high. And another piece by Thompson. Well, Thompson has been tested now here by Carolina, and they're starting to hem in this Washington team. Protas, he's bumped into. He'll try to reverse it, and Washington finds an exit plan.
Hall really did a good job using his speed offensively, going around the clock. Really good low stop by Thompson.
Now Eller into the Kane zone, watched by Stankoven. Eller, the Cup champ with this Washington team in 2018. He'll have it behind the net, trying to center it out in front. He does, but Stankoven is there with the intercept. His pass reaches center ice, and Washington will settle it down by Trevor Van Riemsdyk, the former Kane. And offside are the Caps with 14-13 remaining here in the first period. Still zeros on the scoreboard.
Thought that the first couple of minutes went to Washington, and that last forechecking shift from the Hall line, the best that Carolina's had. When I talk about going around the clock offensively, using the east-west portion of the zone like Hall did, he had a stick, a Washington defensive stick, that was right on him. So he had to continue to move his feet to elude that stick. And Thompson's moving from left to right. And Hall shoots against the grain. Really good stop. Then you had a follow-up from Orlov, where the goaltending in this series, Mike, has been exceptional when you really look at it. The best cumulative goaltending in either of these rounds, or either of these series in the second round so far.
We'll see if that will continue. Frederik Andersen hasn't been taxed by volume, but by quality. Logan Thompson has been taxed by volume and some quality for Carolina's. Martinook will play this puck around the end boards. Wilson will be stepped into by Jarvis. He'll give away long shot at the point by Burns, and that'll be gobbled up and hung on to by Thompson. 13:53 left here in the opening period. The Hurricanes and Capitals are looking for a goal. You're listening to Hurricanes Playoff Hockey on the Canes Radio Network.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything's possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $100 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 3.35 to 4.58. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Back inside Lenovo Center here in Raleigh, North Carolina, where the Canes and Caps are scoreless through 6 minutes and 7 seconds. Alongside Trip Tracy, it's Mike Maniscalco, our technical tandem. John Brockwell in the booth. Rusty Helzer back in the studio in Raleigh. And all right, Trip, we get to the first whistle. What do you take out of it?
This place is bedlam. So if you could ever find a way to get the first goal, that bedlam goes from a capital B to Caps throughout the word bedlam. No pun intended with the Caps here in town. The importance of the first goal, and you haven't had one in the first period so far in this series.
We'll see if Carolina can come up with that. Break that jinx. And as Martinook has it behind the net, Jarvis will go fetch it. And now it'll be Jarvis working it back to the point. Burns keeps it in, right point. Long drive goes off of Martinook. Stahl goes to the boards to try to get to it, but it's deflected out for Wilson. He plays it up for McMichael. McMichael, good speed, centering attempt, and that'll be knocked away. Jarvis hustling back with a great back check. Carlson will keep this in. His shot goes wide. It'll be kicked away, and then a chance for Dubois. He misses everything, and Stahl takes a hit from Wilson, and will roll this one in on Thompson, and the Canes can change up their lineup here.
Jarvis, for me, has had noticeable jumps so far in this game. Keep an eye on 24. That back check, his stick getting in the passing lane, that was nearly friendly fire. When you think about bounces, it just missed. Hard-working play.
Now the Capitals will carry this one into the Kane zone. A heavy hit, dished out by Sean Walker on Duhaime. Walker brings that physical part to his game. And it'll be rolled into the corner, and Gostisbehere swats it away from Duhaime. Canes will find a way to get it out as it's worked free. Canes will get a long drive that'll be knocked out in front. A chance here for Carrier. Walker carried it in. Carrier had the look out in front.
You know it's only a matter of time until Carrier produces, because he's done it in the past. Is this the night?
Well, he is one of those players, Tripp, as you talk about how he can affect a game and more than just on the score sheet. What he can do with hits. He had 7 hits in game number 1. Physical presence in game 2 as Sandin turns inside the Canes blue line. His shot, though, is scooped up and carried away by Svechnikov into the Washington zone. Svechnikov with a backhand. That hits the post.
What a shot in stride. Another post for Svechnikov.
And Protas has this one deflected into the crowd, and a lucky fan from Carey's got a souvenir here in the postseason.
You remember what I was saying in game 2, Mike, on Thompson, who's been brilliant, utilizing high on the short side. Svechnikov from a sharp angle caught Thompson not square and down. It hit Thompson's right shoulder and then found the junction of the crossbar and the post, labeled on the glove side. Boy, I mean, Carolina, Svechnikov himself, the number of posts, they just can't seem to get that puck locked. What an effort by Svechnikov to be able to shoot that with that location in stride from that sharp angle.
As we have face-off at center ice, Canes will win it all the way back in their zone. John Carlson steps into pressure. Washington will kick this down into the right corner. Reached at by Radish, but pulled away, and Roslovic with it. His little 6-foot pass intended for Stankoven, knocked away by Radish. He'll take a pass from Eller, and now Mangiapane will sneak off a shot that'll be blocked by Walker. Caps go across the rink. Carlson keeps it in, redirected out in front. Gostisbehere sturdy in front of his netminder, and Taylor Hall has a chance to hang on to the puck. He will. And he'll go for a change as he hands it off for Gostisbehere, who gains center ice. Martinook along the right wing boards. He'll get a piece, knocked down. Burns jumps in on the play, knocks down Duhaime, but Washington will get to the loose puck. Beauvillier was flying the zone. Penalty coming up to Carolina. Dowd with it. Dowd watched by Stahl. He throws it all the way back into an empty net, and it just misses. Oh, Dowd almost had an own goal.
Oh my gosh, I mean, just missed. In a delayed penalty when the goaltender goes to the bench. We've seen it happen before. Never with these stakes on the line. What did that miss by? Maybe a foot?
I'd say less than that. As now Alexander Ovechkin waits behind the net. The delayed penalty still coming to Carolina. Thompson on the bench. And the Caps were about 8 inches away from disaster, and now Carolina will touch up. And our officials, Francois Saint Laurent and Dan O'Rourke tonight, will provide the call as Washington gets the first power play here.
It's going to be Brent Burns.
Carolina penalty number 8, 2 minutes for tripping.
Saint Laurent with the announcement. It's an offensive zone penalty for Burns. And this feels pivotal, doesn't it? Because Duhaime is the one that draws it against the pinching Burns. Burns pinched down the right wall and really nudged with his right arm. That's a marginal call. That's a marginal call. And during the delayed penalty, the Caps rounding the net, tried to create a centering pass, and it nearly went into the net. So this makes this kill even bigger after that one didn't go.
Now the face-off in the Kane zone is won by Washington. Ovechkin flings it, but Stahl gets a piece. He'll deflect that over the glass into the netting. 10:08 remaining here in this first period.
You know, the one thing that I think might be more evident at home, as good as Carolina's penalty kill has been, they haven't created a lot of shorthanded chances. You and I have seen them do it in particular in this building. You don't go looking for it, but wouldn't be surprised if it's there.
Another face-off was won by Washington, but Carlson couldn't keep it in as the captain. Will knock this one all the way down the boards, and Thompson will leave it there, and the Caps will start their breakout now. Carlson up the boards. Ovechkin, he's given a shoulder there by Stahl, and a chance to clear again, and Carolina finds their way down there, and of course you're going to get Sean Walker getting some penalty killing time with Burns in the box.
And a righty like Burns, and the two Magic men shorthanded, Aho and Jarvis on the ice.
Now Slavin paws it down. Chychrun will take it away from Slavin though and keep it in. A minute 10 left on the kill for Carolina. And Washington will work it to Strome. Along the right wing boards, back up high. Carlson's pass intercepted. And looking for that magic. Here it is, coming in. Oh, backhanded. Thompson makes the save. Now here comes a chance. Jarvis back across for Aho. He wanted to center it, but nothing doing there. But there is that magic you were looking for. Logan Thompson with a brilliant save to keep this game scoreless.
What a pass to Jarvis. He had a ton of speed. Went forehand, backhand, got it upstairs. The glove made the save.
Now Ovechkin tries a shot. That'll be deflected just wide. Kept in at the point. Sandin's shot. That'll roll its way through, and Andersen gets the glove to it. And he'll hang on. 24 seconds left in the kill.
Just marvelous goaltending. That's a big save for Andersen, because a couple of these chances to go up 1-0, and you haven't. He made it, I think that was deflected. Beautiful pass from Slavin in transition, shorthanded to Jarvis. I'm sorry, it was Walker. Beautiful pass. Walker inside his own end to Jarvis, revving it up at the far blue line. Everything but score. Power move, forehand, backhand with a ton of speed. And that glove of Thompson's right on top of the pad to make the stop.
Well, Carolina still has some work to do here on this kill. As it's knocked around the board, Slavin to it. He will knock this one out. 15 seconds. And Burns will be out of the box in Carolina. So far in this postseason, they have killed 19 of 20 and now make it 20 of 21 as Burns is out of the box. Dubois goes rink wide. Sandin will knife this one into the Kane zone. Behind the net it goes. And it'll be played for Orlov. He'll get it to Hall. He's run into by Matt Roy. Chatfield will take a pass. Offside as Carolina. Roslovic snuck in. And that'll get us a whistle with 7:53 remaining here in the first period. Still looking for a goal. The Carolina Hurricanes and Washington Capitals. Game 3 of this second round playoff series. We're scoreless. Series is tied at 1. You're listening to Canes Playoff Hockey on the Canes Radio Network.
Barbecue season is back. Hey, it's Ellen. And this is Sarah Beth. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese,
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and a Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
To us, every moment matters. Moments of quiet perseverance and loud celebrations. Starting moments and the moments that make us feel unstoppable. We're here to help you be present for them all. UNC Health is dedicated to getting you back to what you love. Faster, stronger, and healthier. Official healthcare provider of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Who wants to save up to $1 a gallon on gas with Harris Teeter fuel points? It's easy. Shop at Harris Teeter with your VIC card. Earn 1 fuel point for every $1 spent. Redeem your points for gas savings at Harris Teeter fuel centers in our partnering Amoco and BP gas stations. You can even check your fuel points in the Harris Teeter app. Get 4 times the fuel points when you shop on Fridays. Harris Teeter, in food with love.
7:53 remaining here in the first period. Still looking for the first goal of this contest as it's game number 3 and the Canes and Caps scoreless here in Raleigh.
You know, Big Rig, every moment feels massive in the playoffs. I mean, that's why it's a gift to the hockey world and the solar system. But especially after that, what would have been a deflating goal for Washington on the delayed penalty didn't go, and Jarvis' shorthanded breakaway. That's a big penalty kill and a stylish one to get through. I think, albeit early in the game, a very timely 2-minute segment.
Well, it's been something that this team has been able to rely on for a very long time. But this season in particular, the number 1 ranked penalty killing unit, and they have carried it over into the playoffs, where in this series they are 5 of 6. Now we get a hand pass from Washington to stop play with 7:34 left here in the first.
Well, you know, both of these goaltenders are so dialed in. So let's talk about Logan Thompson, who's riding a shutout here early. You get what I just did with that. But how do you beat him? Well, you beat him when he's out of the net for a delayed penalty.
Yeah, and that might be a key now.
And what Svechnikov tried to do, and Roslovic hit another post in the series. Again, those sharp angles going over his shoulder.
Would you say you would have to beat him with screens or precision pinpoint passing if you had to pick?
Well, I mean, another delayed penalty. You're going to feel good about it when he's on the bench. I mean, this has just been a spectacular goaltending performance from both guys here early in Game 3.
Shots are 5 for Washington, 4 for Carolina. Of course, that is apt to change, both by the teams putting more shots on goal and other causes. Kotkaniemi sidesteps a big hit from Dowd in his own zone. And the loose puck is shoot away. And it'll be worked in by Carrier. Now it'll be intercepted here as Robinson has it in the Washington zone. Watch the goal line. Burns will keep it in on a clearing attempt. Carolina, down the boards it goes. Burns with another touch, but they're going to say that it cleared the zone.
No, it hit the open door. The Washington Capitals were at least considering making a change, and the door opened. And so it should be an offensive zone face-off, almost, an automatic whistle like when it hits that circular glass that is right next to that defensive door. Well, we've seen some things you don't often see here so far in the first period, Mike.
And we still have almost 7 minutes to go here in the opening frame.
Let's see if Stahl his tougher face-off side, but can win this draw. Jarvis on the ice, he's been noticeable.
Stahl is tied up in the circle. Washington will play it around the boards and off the glass, out of the zone, bouncing pass. Going to be settled down by McMichael. He'll work this one to Chikrin. Chikrin's shot goes wide to the right of the net of Andersen. Carlson will keep it in. Slide it across for Chikrin. He moves down the boards. He'll throw it behind the Canes net. Be bandied about and played off the boards from Martinook. He'll shovel this one out to center. Stahl using that size, has a bump for Dubois. Michael will get to it. He's put into the Canes bench by Martinook. And Slavin will help clear this one around, and Burns gets it forward, and then Tom Wilson goes out of his way to knock down Svechnikov. Legal play, despite the grimaces from the Canes fans here. But Wilson went from about 50 feet to make the play. Puck was with Svechnikov, though.
He had the puck. You can hit a guy from behind when he's in the middle of the ice like that. So
now a loose puck. Ovechkin muscles it through. Chatfield makes a play. Second chance, and that'll be knocked out by Orlov. And Ovechkin is incredulous to the right of Frederik Andersen.
He is looking to the rafters. Still is. In the building he was drafted way back when, first overall. Oh, boy. Wow, terrific saves at both ends, and that happened in an instant, that turnover. 2 stops on Ovechkin.
5:46 left in the first. Still looking for a goal here in Raleigh. You're listening to Canes Playoff Hockey on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
Hockey is a game of speed, and the Triangle is one of the fastest growing regions in the country. At the center of the excitement are Lenovo and the Carolina Hurricanes, partnering to unveil the Lenovo Center. With one of its global headquarters in the Triangle, Lenovo is the perfect partner to launch a new era of technology and fun. Don't miss out. Come check out the Lenovo Center and cheer on the Canes.
For almost a decade, the Hurricanes have trusted their t-shirt needs with Cardinal Apparel. Carolina Hurricanes alumni Shane Willis here to tell you Cardinal Apparel has expanded and relocated to better serve their clients across the state. Formerly known as Raleigh Screen Print, Cardinal Apparel will produce high-quality screen printing while working directly with customers. Don't waste your time online trying to order through third-party vendors. Save money and time working with Cardinal Apparel. Visit cardinalapparel.com to start your order today.
Hey everyone, Adney and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch this movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit, and the cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
During all road games this postseason, the Carolina Ale House in Cary will offer the ultimate viewing experience for all fans. Be sure to join Stormy and the gang at Carolina Ale House in Cary for the next watch party happening Thursday night for Game 5, Canes and Caps. Carolina Ale House, exclusive sponsor of Canes playoff watch parties. We're inside Lenovo Center where it's been deafening in an offensive zone draw. One for Washington, and that's put out in front. Frederik Andersen kicks out the pad to make the save again. Long drive by Roy. That's not just wide. Canes trying to clear. And all this happening just after Alexander Ovechkin had his best look of the series. Sandin hammers one. Deflected in front. Another try by Ovechkin and another save by Andersen. Now this one off the end boards. Burns and Ovechkin fight for it. Ovechkin says he got clipped up high. No call.
And he tried to play along with it, and the referees didn't bite. Ovechkin has had 4 great chances in the last 2 minutes. A tip chance off of that set face-off play. Ovechkin looks like a different player.
Hand pass, center ice. This is not trying to be homerish with this, but Alexander Ovechkin in the first 2 games was not noticeable in Washington, but he has been a force so far here in this opening period.
Well, his last chance, after his 2 chances going to break, he was on the wall on the wing, and Carolina lost the face-off. Oftentimes he skates into a shot and shoots it immediately. He went right to the front of the net. The defenseman knew it. Andersen knew better and made a great save on the quick tip.
Now Carolina will win this draw. Puck in the Washington zone. Roslovic lets it come back. Gostisbehere fakes the shot. This one is rocketed, but it touches a stick and deflects over the glass into the netting with 4:51 remaining in the first, and it's still zeros on the board.
I mean, just over 15 minutes in, I think you'd say at this point, now the Caps have had the only power play, and Carolina's best chance came of the period, came shorthanded. But so far, you got to feel all right that you're 0-0 because the Caps, a great road team this year, have had a really good first period. Faceoffs have got to get better, especially in both zones.
Face-off in the offensive zone was won by Washington. And now Carlson with it. His pass deflected by Mangiapane. It goes to the right of Andersen. Now he's got to make a save. Mangiapane got to a loose puck that was out in front. Kicked away by Andersen. Another loose puck. Roslovic with it. He's got to make a tight turn in front of his netminder. He'll clear, but into the Canes bench, and that'll get us a whistle.
Yeah, Roslovic initially had a chance to just make a hard play to make sure to get it out. He held on to the puck, but then ends up firing it into the Carolina bench. So it's another avoidable. This is an avoidable defensive zone draw. And it seems like the Caps have won the majority of these attacking zone faceoffs or come up with defending zone faceoffs. You hope that changes.
Now, the good news is, if you're Carolina, it's not an icing, so you can put on the ice who you want to. But as Tripp pointed out, is the bad news. You got a tough draw here. Right now, Washington has won 9 of 14 faceoffs, or 64%.
And Stahl just got booted. In comes Jarvis, and he won it.
There you go. It's Chatfield. He'll clear this one, and the Canes, Martinook with it. He has to play it around Carlson. Jarvis goes in, charging to try to come up with the puck, but it's going to be leaked out for Carlson. Carlson will get to center ice, wrap it around the Canes zone. Chatfield chips it, and the Canes can skate this one. And it's Jarvis to Orlov. Orlov tries to split the defense, and he goes for the far side and just misses. Martinook will keep it in. Downloaded Jarvis along the far boards. He'll leave it for Stahl. Stahl watched by Chychrun. Chychrun tries to come up with the intercept, but Martinook will keep it in. Back to the right point. Chatfield left point. It's Orlov. Sent back in deep. Washington wants to clear. Orlov bodies it up. Chatfield, he'll knock it away at the last second. And he's trying to make the play on that was McMichael. Good play there by Chatfield.
And we know what McMichael can do in transition, scoring that breakaway goal back Thursday night. Nice play from Jalen.
Now this puck will be sliced into the Washington zone. Van Riemsdyk plays it around. Protas will clear it out. Center ice trying to find Ovechkin. Carolina knocks it down, but right back to Protas. Ovechkin overskates it, but Burns knocks it to Sandin, and now Washington's Strome has it. He'll carry it in the zone, fire it into the corner. Played up high. Van Riemsdyk fakes the shot. He gets that one through, but it misses the net. Aho tries to clear it. Be kept in by Sandin. He winds up behind the net. Burns, little self-play. Now he'll try to pull away from Strome. He's able to. He gets some help here from Aho and just drops it back. Where's Slavin?
Aho has played against the Strome line with Ovechkin every shift, and so far it's Strome and Ovechkin that are winning that matchup. That's got to change.
Now Washington will work this in the Kane zone. Gostisbehere helps get it out with Robinson, and now chasing after it is Carrier. Puck thrown into the corner. Roy wanted to get rid of it quick, knowing that Carrier had a beat on him. Now Canes keep it out in front. Carrier with a shot, and Thompson makes it from point blank. The save will keep us scoreless, and now we get a whistle. Another little hand pass here in the zone with 2:10 left in this first period.
Carrier, a terrific opportunity. The Hurricanes won a board battle on one side. Carrier was ready and available on the other side of the rink. As a lefty, he was on the right side looking in. Perfect opportunity to fire the puck. And Thompson got over. Carrier, because Thompson was moving, tried to go between the legs. And you're right, when you mentioned Carrier helps you with his physicality, whether he's on the score sheet or not, but this is a guy that has scored a decent number of playoff goals in his career. That was a great A opportunity.
Face off after the hand pass outside of the Washington blue line. 2:10 remaining here in this opening period. Roslovic wins it clean all the way back into his own zone where Walker has to go get it. He's watched by Radish. And Walker will hand it for Gostisbehere. And throw this out for Hall. Hall. Across the rink it goes. It'll be batted in. Stankoven works it around the boards, but Mangiapane gets to it first. And now Radish into the Kane zone. Watched by Walker. And they get it to Eller. Eller is sealed along the boards, but able to roll it around for Karlsson. Karlsson drops it, but too deep. Mangiapane can't keep it in. Canes will force Washington to tag up. Washington will just make a change as we're under 90 seconds left here in the first period.
Canes' massive improvements in the last 2 minutes, or in this case, 90 seconds of periods. Critical time.
Aho, Blake, and Svechnikov. Aho trying to feed Svechnikov down the left wing. He'll get to it in the Washington zone in the corner. Now Aho will wrap one out in front. It trickles along the goal line, and Burns will get to it. Burns, he tries a sneaky little backhander, and Thompson has to make the save. Oh, what a savvy play there by the veteran defenseman.
Two of Carolina's best chances have come on the backhand from either side. Svechnikov earlier in the period, Burns was rounding the net. So he's on his forehand and then quickly adjusts to his backhand and fires it. And give Thompson credit. He was trying to go was Burns between the legs. And if he's not committed to the at least potential that Burns would shoot the puck, it's 1-0. 5-hole for Carolina.
1 minute, 3 seconds left here in this opening period. Offensive zone draw. And Aho will be asked to leave, so Dowd and Svechnikov. Orlov and Chatfield the defense, and Dowd wins it to the corner. Canes try to help out, but Beauvillier is able to play this one around Orlov, and Chatfield will have to pick it up. Given a swat there by Duhaime. The puck bounces out to center. Svechnikov will get it to Blake. Blake trying to fend off Beauvillier. He does. Blake now bouncing it out in front to the left of Thompson. 39 seconds left here in the first period. Svechnikov and Blake fighting for it. Washington, though, able to chip this one out over the blue line. Chatfield's pass will find Aho. Canes can't clear it. Dowd will keep it in. Coming up on 20 seconds left here in the opening period. Now a loose puck will be handed off for Orlov. Orlov He turns away from Wilson. Worked across Chatfield, clears the blue line, 9 seconds left. Chychrun has it in his own zone, up for Wilson, 5 seconds left. Washington looking for something, but they'll be offside with 1.8 seconds remaining here in this first period.
Well, for either team scoring in the first period, now in 3 games, you'd have a better chance of finding an oasis in the desert. However, when has Carolina taken over games at home here in the playoffs so far? The second period.
Washington wins the faceoff. Chychrun hammers one from just inside center ice that Andersen has no problem making the save. And that's how the first period comes to a close. Coming up, Adam Gold will give us his thoughts, I'm sure of that, coming up here on the first 20 minutes of play in game number 3 of this second round matchup. The series between the Canes and Caps is tied at 1, and this game is tied at 0 through 20 minutes. In your first intermission report, right around the corner after this, you're listening to Canes Playoff Hockey on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and I am in studio with my friend Jeff Hoffman from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. So, front doors, that's the start of your house. You have a lot of options when it comes to doors.
Absolutely. Give us an opportunity to come out. We'll sit down with an iPad, actually develop the door for you. A couple different door styles or types to choose from, but then there's multiple styles that you can apply to that actual door. And of course, it's going to be installed by certified Provia installers.
800-672-4348, aluminumcompany.com.
He's setting up the play at Penn Station East Coast Subs. Can I get a 6-inch hot grilled Italian sub? He shoots. Should I grab a bag of chips?
Nope. All our subs come with fresh cut fries.
He scores!
Everybody wins at Penn Station East Coast Subs with hot grilled subs for pickup or delivery. Fresh cut fries. 5 convenient triangle locations. You're set up for a great meal any day when you do it the Penn Station way. Check out the menu and order online today at penn-station.com.
Adam Gold inside Lenovo Center on the Lenovo Intermission Report, brought to you by Lenovo, official technology provider of the Carolina Hurricanes. We are without a goal, just like we were in the first periods in Game 2 and 1 in Washington. But we certainly were not without excitement. Each side had a breakaway. Each side had a couple of other dynamite scoring chances. Both goaltenders have been sharp, and it has been end-to-end at times, a lot less restrictive, I think, than we have seen in previous series. But neither team really has had a decided advantage. I thought it was a good period. Easily the best first period the Capitals have played so far, but even though the shots are 9-6 in favor of the Capitals, I think the really good scoring chances have been fairly even. Frederik Andersen, a couple of good saves early on. Tom Wilson had a breakaway. Taylor Radish had a good try. Andrei Svechnikov hit his third post of the playoffs. It was a backhand try off the rush that hit the out just sort of flush on the far post. Dynamite play. Then Seth Jarvis had a breakaway as he was sprung by Sean Walker while shorthanded. Frederik Andersen came up with the goods on Alexander Ovechkin, and a very late Brent Burns from behind the net backhand try surprised Logan Thompson, but he was able to save it and melt it down. It has been a fun first period, and we will prove it to you with highlights next.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
What? New scratch-offs are out. That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $100 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 3.35 to 4.58. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Who wants to save up to $1 a gallon on gas with Harris Teeter fuel points? It's easy. Shop at Harris Teeter with your Vic card. Earn 1 fuel point for every $1 spent. Redeem your points for gas savings at Harris Teeter fuel centers in our partnering Amoco and BP gas stations. You can even check your fuel points in the Harris Teeter app. Get 4 times the fuel points when you shop on Fridays. Harris Teeter, in food with love.
Highlights here on the Lenovo Intermission Report. I am Adam Goals. No goals. Highlights are brought to you by Kia. Let's get it underway early on. Tom Wilson loose all alone in front of Freddie Andersen.
And now come the other way. Here's Tom Wilson. Wilson in on a break. Andersen with the save. Oh, Mr. Andersen tested early 30 seconds in and comes up with an A+ save.
We had chances the other way. Then Freddie had to stop Taylor Radish. In tight, and then Andrei Svechnikov with a head of steam down the right side and a backhand try.
Sandin turns inside the Canes blue line. His shot, though, is scooped up and carried away by Svechnikov into the Washington zone. Svechnikov with a backhand. That hits the post.
What a shot in stride. Another post for Svechnikov.
3 posts in 3 games. Then the first power play went the way of Washington. Sean Walker collects the puck and spots Seth Jarvis streaking down the ice.
Carlson's pass intercepted. And looking for that magic. Here it is. Coming in. Oh, backhanded. Thompson makes the save. Now here comes a chance. Jarvis back across for Aho. He wanted to center it, but nothing doing there. But there is that magic you were looking for. Logan Thompson with a brilliant save to keep this game scoreless.
Yeah, Seth Jarvis, backhand glove save extraordinaire from Logan Thompson. And then Alex Ovechkin and Jalen Chatfield doing battle right in front of the net. Ovi with a try here.
Now a loose puck, Ovechkin muscles it through. Chatfield makes a play, second chance, and that'll be knocked out by Orlov. And Ovechkin is incredulous to the right of Frederik Andersen.
He is looking to the rafters, still is. In the building he was drafted way back when, first overall.
Alex Ovechkin does not have a goal in this series. If the Hurricanes put the biscuit in the basket on the power play tonight, assuming they get one, you get a free Bowberry biscuit at participating Bojangles tomorrow morning. Bojangles, it's Bow time. We'll talk it over with Walt Ruff next.
To us, every moment matters. Moments of quiet perseverance and loud celebrations. Starting moments and the moments that make us feel unstoppable. We're here to help you be present for them all. UNC Health is dedicated to getting you back to what you love. Faster, stronger, and healthier. Official healthcare provider of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Hey everyone, Adnan and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch this movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit. The cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Adam Gold inside Lenovo Center on the Lenovo Intermission Report. We are without a goal after one period. Walt Ruff, Hurricanes.com, content maestro, wizard of the keyboards. Do you, sir, feel like you are not allowed to discuss a period where either team has scored a goal?
Going through a dry spell here, huh? But you know what? It's a whole heck of a lot better. Well, you want to blame me and talk about that stretch from January to early March, where it felt like the team was giving up the first goal every game.
Yeah. Well, they have, for the most part, in the playoffs, they have 5 out of 7 games.
They've just waited till after my segment, thankfully, so it's someone else's problem to talk about, not mine, though.
What are your thoughts through 20?
I thought Washington was a little bit sharper than Carolina. Freddie Andersen had to be good. Some of those shots, I mean, you give up a Tom Wilson breakaway in the first 3 minutes, and there was that set design play right off the faceoff to Alexander Ovechkin in front. I don't know if you know, but that guy scored more goals than anybody in NHL history. You probably don't want to leave him open in front.
I read that.
So Carolina's got to tighten up. They got to clean up some things as they come back to the ice for the second.
Yeah, it is for the first time for the first 2 games of the of this series. Carolina probably went to the locker room after one going, we should be ahead. Mm-hmm. They probably don't feel that way, although they had some really good opportunities. The Svechnikov backhand tried with a head of steam down the right. The Jarvis breakaway shorthanded. So, I mean, look, I know what the numbers say that it has been a dominant period for Washington. I don't feel like it's been dominant. I think it's been pretty even.
I agree. It could have gone either way. You're 100% right. And Svechnikov's third post or crossbar of the series already. Man, Logan Thompson's glove hand has been pretty impressive. And, you know, it's funny because he shows it, too, as a goalie. And I'm sure Tripp's a whole heck of a lot more qualified to talk about this than I am. But sometimes when you're just throwing that little extra pepper on those glove hand saves, and he's doing all of that right now. So credit to him. He's making the stops when needed.
Yeah, although Andre beat him glove side on the backhand try, he just, that post. That post is difficult.
He was giving it love left and right, too. He was rubbing it the whole way during the stoppage.
He should have been. I think Svechnikov passed Aho so quickly. I thought Sebastian was, like, waiting for a drop pass, and Andre was like, nope, I got this.
He had the horse going.
Yeah, and honestly, among all the things that we have seen, whether it's tonight or in this series, Andre playing like that is exactly what Rod Brindamore wants to see.
1,000%. You need him with that little gallop in his step, and you're right. He needs to be the shooter. We don't need a drop pass in that situation. Put it on, especially it didn't look like he had much of an angle, but the fact that he did, and he found a way to beat Thompson in that situation too, you're spot on. That's the Andrei Svechnikov this team needs right now.
Did this period seem like it was moving faster than the other two? This in terms of first periods. I don't know, it just seemed like the skating was, because in the other 2 games, Carolina hemmed Washington in, so we had a little bit more end-to-end here, I think.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think the pace has been excellent through the first 3 games. First period, there's always been at least one side coming out rip-roaring, ready to go. I mean, sometimes you see some sloppy hockey and teams trying to figure things out in the first. These guys have been ready to go from the jump since game 1, so that's been fun to see. And for the hockey fans watching at home, it's probably fun to see the back and forth. I think you and I probably like to see more of the Carolina dominant O-zone possession.
I like that. It's my favorite part.
I agree. The forecheck has been great up in D.C. We'll see if they can get to that here over the final 40 minutes.
All right, Walt Ruff, Hurricanes.com, content maestro, wizard of the keyboard. Freddie Andersen hasn't been asked to do a ton in the first 2 games. They asked him to do a lot in that period. I know they don't want him to do a lot, but the fact that he was able to do what he did, I mean, that's got to give everybody a lot more confidence.
A stabilizing force, and that's exactly what you're looking for, because we wouldn't be surprised, as we've established, that if we were sitting here talking and we're 2-0 or 3-0 Washington, right? That would be well within their rights. They earned their opportunities, but Andersen settled things down, especially when things got a little iffy for Carolina on some of their neutral zone play. I didn't love that a whole heck of a lot. So, again, they're going to try and get things going in the positive direction here, but Andersen certainly should instill some confidence in them as they try and do that.
All right, before we let Walt Ruff go here, it seems to be top 2 on top 2, right? So, of those other 2 lines, who do you think has a more favorable matchup?
I mean, I'm never not going to go with the Stahl line, right? I mean, you know, we can call them the third line day and night, but that's the
well, they drew Wilson. That's what Rod wanted. He wanted them to go against Tom Wilson. So
that's I mean, he was the best player in the ice in game 2, so you're going to have something good on him.
I think that's why Rod made the change.
There you go.
Like, let's just kind of quiet this guy down. We can't quiet Walt Ruff down. Maybe for game 4 we'll have a goal to talk about.
That'd be fun.
I don't know, but we'll do that Monday night. Appreciate your time. We'll take a check at the NHL scoreboard after these words from your local stations on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
Discover the thrill of precision and elegance with Omega at Bailey's Fine Jewelry. From the depths of the ocean to the heights of space, Omega's Seamaster and Speedmaster collections are crafted for those who dare to explore. With a heritage rooted in innovation and a timeless style inspired by sports, space, and cinematic legends, Omega is the gift for every adventurer. Find your perfect watch at Bailey's Fine Jewelry in Raleigh's Village District. Voted best jeweler. Learn more at BaileyBox.com.
Make your next tailgate more electric when you plug into a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Not only do they light up the scoreboard with outstanding payload and towing numbers, with available Pro Power on board, you can turn these Ford trucks into mobile generators to give your tailgate party an extra boost of energy. Visit your Carolina Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com for great offers and to learn more about F-150 and Super Duty. See Owner's Manual for important operating instructions.
Rev up your engines at Apex Racing Lab, the Triangle's largest sim racing destination. Experience the ultimate thrill with 16 cutting-edge simulators, expert instructors, and world-class virtual tracks. Apex Racing Lab brings the adrenaline-pumping world of sim racing to life. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro, you can race friends and family for fun or join a competitive league. Ready to race? Head to Apex Racing Lab in Cary's McGregor Village in Greater Raleigh and unleash your racing passion. Learn more at apexracinglab.com.
Adam Gold inside Lenovo Center in a first period scoreboard is brought to you by Cardinal Apparel, proud partner and t-shirt provider of your Carolina Hurricanes. Vegas is in Edmonton tonight. That will be game number 2 on the NHL scoreboard tonight, and the Oilers have now 6 consecutive come-from-behind playoff wins. They knocked LA out with 4 straight playoff wins, and they have done the same to Vegas. The Golden Knights can't feel pretty good. Connor McDavid doesn't have a goal in this series yet, and it is 2-0 Edmonton in that series. Game 3 is in Edmonton tonight. Carolina, who gave up a fair amount of pretty good scoring chances to Washington, although the Carolina Hurricanes had their own. They're losing the faceoff battle now, just 42.1%, but they have been physical. 21 first-period hits to Washington's 15. Capitals continue to block shots. They've already blocked 70 in the series, 8 more in the first period. We'll see if Carolina can get a power play, see if Carolina can turn the tables in their favor in the second period. Mike and Tripp will have that second period next.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection, one that helps better their everyday through the things they value most: friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Barbecue season is back. Hey, it's Ellen.
And this is Sarah Beth.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese,
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and a Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $100 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1-3.35 to 4.58. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
We get ready to start the second period here at Lenovo Center. This game is scoreless between the Canes and the Capitals. Alongside Tripp Tracy here on the Hurricanes Radio Network, Mike Maniscalco. All right, Tripp, what do you need to see here in the second? Because if we're going to score this like a fight, you might have to give the first round to the Washington Capitals.
Well, I think about this, because the second period at home with the long change and Carolina being able to come at waves on the forecheck and preventing opposing teams from changing, the last 2 second periods they've gone in against the Devils. They've won both games. They've gone in trailing 1-0 in Game 2 and 3-0 in Game 5. So if they can repeat the dominant second periods in this building they've had at 0-0, they're going to be in good stead.
Well, we will see as we are ready for this second period. And we are underway as Stahl wins the draw at center ice. Chatfield wants to knock this into the cap zone, but it'll be Flipped high back to the Canes blue line. Chatfield, good job to hustle back into this one, and this will be icing on Carolina. 13 seconds into this frame.
You know, when I talked about the faceoffs needing to get better, in particular from the top two centermen, Aho went 0 for 2, and Stahl went 3 and 6. Kotkaniemi was 4 and 0. But really, from your top two centermen, Aho only took 2. But you're going to need both of those faceoff men to build a game in the dot.
Now it'll be Dubois to take the draw against Stahl. Wilson kicks it back. It'll be kept in at the left point by Chychrun. Worked all the way around Martinook. He anticipates this one and flips it high out to center ice. Stahl uses his reach to come up with it. He plays his way around Ovechkin. Now it's worked back across. And Washington will get to it. Dubois skates it to his own blue line. And Chychrun will hammer this one high. It's deflected over the glass into the netting.
We've seen teams come in this building and try what Washington's trying to do a lot. As soon as there is possession or the potential for possession in their defensive zone, they're flying a guy.
Yeah.
And that's the way I would combat Carolina's pressurized forecheck too. The good news is that the Hurricanes are prepared to be able to adjust to it. And most often, it's the weak side defenseman, the defenseman opposite side of the puck, that if he sees a guy fly into the neutral zone, he goes too.
Well, with the way that the Canes have been able to generate a couple of shifts with that offensive zone possession, you got to think that they would love to just kind of grind down Washington here in this period. As the puck rolls its way into the Cane zone, chipped right out. Robinson works this forward. It'll be tracked down by Carrier. He goes across the ice looking for Gostisbehere too far. And Washington comes the other way. Beauvillier, he'll drag his shot. Will be blocked by Walker. Duhaime with it. Back to the point. Quick little shot. He's bounced and it goes just to the left of Frederik Andersen, who might have gotten a piece. And then it'll be deflected out of play, and that'll stop things with 18:50 left. Oh, a dangerous chance there for the Caps.
What a tip on the way in. That's why Andersen had such trouble with it. I think it was down. I mean, a really high tip, nowhere near the net. And it was probably at waist level, and he batted it down, bouncing it in. Andersen is leaning to the blocker side for the original shot, and that bouncing redirection just missed on the glove side.
Well, it'll be Aho with Blake and Svechnikov out here. Gostisbehere and Walker. The Dubois line is out for Spencer Carberry's team with Connor McMichael and Tom Wilson.
This might be an adjustment. Rod might not have liked what he saw Aho against Ovechkin's line in the first. Just keep an eye on it. He might be adjusting, and I could see, if so, why he does.
Now, this will be kept in by Washington, but Slavin will play it away from McMichael. But this is coming back in the Cane zone. It's going to be icing on Carolina.
You know, why do I say that? You know, when you think about last change, you think first and foremost about the defensive pairings. But Ovechkin had, for me, his best period of the series by far. He had 3 shots. He had more than 3 good opportunities. And he was playing against the Aho line every shift. So if it changes to Aho against Wilson's line, that would be the reason.
Dubois takes the draw back for Chychrun. Blake jumps out on Chychrun. He's going to back in one cross corner. Aho and Dubois fight for it. Loose puck. Batted to the corner where Wilson will get to it along the right wing boards, but knocked away by the Canes. Here comes Carolina. Svechnikov. He'll get it across. Aho with a drive and a chance. And another save by Thompson. And that was Slavin who comes out of nowhere to knock that one in. Svechnikov regroups. He'll get it to Blake. Back into the Washington zone. He'll roll a little backhander that'll be scooped up by the lefty Thompson. And he'll hang on. And now the first time here in this game, some extracurriculars as Chychrun put the stick to Svechnikov. And the Canes forward was nonplussed with that.
I think you need this right now if you're Carolina. This is where you need it after the whistle. Because the edge has been to the Caps for me to this point. Slavin, we know what kind of defensive defenseman he is. He has been really good offensively. I mean, you look at him so far in these playoffs, he's got 2 and 2 goals, 2 assists for 4 points. He set up Jarvis's shorthanded chance in the first period. He just jumped in on the rush. And out of all this, Carolina's going to get a power play. Might take it from here.
Roughing is the call as Chychrun is going to go to the box. Correction. We'll get this squared away as we join that one late.
Dubois, I think.
Pierre-Luc Dubois. No, it's going to be 4-on-4.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Dubois and Blake.
I would have been surprised if Carolina got a power play out of that. I was hopeful, but I would have been surprised.
Well, I was thinking when the call came up, Chychrun had a little stick work on Svechnikov.
He could have been taken, but Saint Laurent and O'Rourke, the two officials, they figured, they don't want things after the whistle, so they're sending a message, and so they're going to send both guys. 4-on-4 situation.
And this is one where we'll see if the open ice can be an advantage for Carolina, but it's Washington that comes away with the puck. Sandin up for Roy. Roy into the Kane zone. He'll drop it back for Strome. He'll get it to Sandin. Sandin, top of the left circle. Andersen makes the save. Casually flips it out of the glove to Aho. And now Sebastian Aho. He'll drop this for Slavin. He'll get the return feed right back. Aho down the right wing boards. He works around Sandin. He'll get it to Slavin, but Slavin can't keep it in. He'll have to track it down. So 4-on-4 hockey for the next minute 25. 17:25 left here in the second period. Burns takes a drop pass from Svechnikov. He goes across the rink. He and Slavin exchange with it right back to Burns, top of the right circle. Burns has it taken away by McMichael. He'll get it up to Wilson. Now Sandin. Sandin wants to play his way around Hall. Good play by Hall on the offensive defenseman of the Washington Capitals.
Good cover from Hall at 4-on-4 because Burns can't turn that puck over where he did.
Now Hall's got to come back and make a play, but it finds Carlson out in front. Wilson with the save. Back to Carlson. That'll be deflected. Andersen got a piece of the initial Carlson try after Wilson deflected it. Frederik Andersen has made a couple of humdingers in this one.
He moved into that tip, like he challenged as the tip was coming from Wilson. Another excellent save.
Now 27 seconds left to 4-on-4. Washington will work this one along the boards, tied around. It's Dowd, Nick Dowd, watched by Chatfield. He's able to keep it in, wants to get that one across for Ovechkin. Ovechkin plays this off the net of Andersen to Dowd. Washington still hanging on to the puck. Dowd work his way from left to right. He will have this knocked out on Sandin, and Blake will knock Sandin off the puck and get it to Stankoven. Stankoven will get it into the corner. Now Van Riemsdyk has to avoid the hard check of Hall. Canes keep it in. Stankoven. He's at the top of the left circle. Gostisbehere lets it go. And that'll be just wide of the net to the left of Thompson. Canes will keep it in. Stankoven. He'll bounce it, though, right to Van Riemsdyk. His pass too far for Ovechkin. This is icing on the Capitals. 15:32 left here in the second period. Still looking for a goal from either side.
I think after the 4-on-4 2 minutes edge to Washington, both guys came out of the box and made important plays immediately. Blake caused a 50-50 puck in surprising fashion. So now Stankoven's going, and Dubois with the reach. As Stankoven was trying to get in a shooting position to the left to Thompson, made a heck of a play to deny the shot. This is one of those situations off of icing. Can Stahl build a face-off game?
And the Canes need a zone win here. Stahl tries to kick it out, and the Canes will come up with it. Stahl bats it to Burns. And he'll find Martinook beneath the goal line. He and Van Riemsdyk fight for it. Still along the corner it goes. Bounced up for Ovechkin. He is knocked down by Burns with a heavy shove. But Washington able to pitch this one back into the Kane zone. Behind Andersen's net it goes. Up from Martinook. He can't clear. Kept in by Alexiev, who was looking for a return feed. Sharp angle shot, Alexiev. Andersen with a save. Alexiev around the boards for Mangiapane. Andrew Mangiapane sidesteps Jarvis. Puck worked back to the right point, and it'll be kept in. An opportunity for Washington. Out in front. And a bouncing puck can't be settled down by Radish. Carolina will send this the length of the ice by Martinook. That's just going to be icing on Carolina with 14:36 left here in the second period.
Fresh troops for the Caps. Burns and Slavin are tired. Long second period change. You're happy that you have the captain who's been on the ice along with Marduk and Jarvis for a period of time. Spencer Carberry will go with the Strome line. This is pivotal, what's coming up right here.
It's Strome, Ovechkin, and Protas. And Protas at 6'6", 225. Strome, though, loses it to Stahl. That's a big face-off win for the captain. Jarvis gets a piece, but it's going to be icing again on Carolina. It might not be a bad thing, though. Get a chance to catch your breath.
It's not a big. Stahl just hasn't won many face-offs, so you want to take advantage of the one that he just won. Jarvis tried to one-tip it and then would have thought about changing, but he was probably 2 or 3 feet on the defensive side of the red line.
So it'll be Stahl and Strome again. Same setup for you. Face-off to the right of Frederik Andersen. And this one along the boards, and the Canes win it again. Burns able to chip it out, but not deep enough where he and Slavin can make a change as Washington works it in. Andersen behind his net to Slavin. Stahl kicks it forward for Svechnikov. Svechnikov into the Washington zone. He'll get it to Jarvis. Into the corner it goes. Svechnikov has a big hit on Chychrun, but Washington's able to clear. Ovechkin with it now, backing off Orlov. Orlov shields him to the far boards. Protas plays this one off. Strome will get it to Chychrun. Chychrun's bouncing shot goes wide, as Andersen had the post covered. Now Protas with it behind the net. Chatfield loses his stick. Protas working out. Nice play, but Protas able to keep it in. Chychrun, top of the left circle. His shot blocked out in front. Trying to find Protas. Chatfield still without his stick.
Went to go get it just now.
He's back into the play, and now Dubois. He'll take a shoulder from Chatfield, but Caps keep it in. Roy shuttles it across the ice. Chance to put that out in front. Deflected into the corner. Roy will keep it in. Nice block there by Orlov to Svechnikov. He'll angle it out. Now Aho. He'll shove Chychrun, who's able to go cross corner. McMichael. He forces a quick play from Chatfield. Orlov gets it out, and now Blake with it. And the Canes transition into the Washington zone. Into the Washington corner it goes. Trying to come up with it is Carrier. Side of the net it goes. Carrier has it now in the corner. He draws a crowd, but he's able to get it to Walker. Walker's drive is deflected, but Thompson stays with it the whole way, catches and hangs on. 12:45 left here in the second period. The Caps and Hurricanes are still looking for a goal here on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Hey everyone, Adnan and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch the movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit. The cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We all love cheering on the Hurricanes, and our Triangle neighbor Lenovo is giving us something else to cheer about. The global technology giant is going all in to enhance the fan experience at the Lenovo Center and support the transformative entertainment district, making it a one-stop shop for all things fun in the Triangle. Hockey, entertainment, food, and more. Check it out at the newly named Lenovo Center and Entertainment District, where celebration starts in the Triangle. See you there.
When the Canes win at home during the playoffs, download the Chick-fil-A app to claim your offer for a free chicken sandwich by midnight. Available at participating Greater Triangle area restaurants. 12:45 left here in the second, alongside Chip Tracy. Mike Maniscalco here on your Hurricanes Radio Network.
I think you're fortunate approaching the halfway point of regulation if you're Carolina that you're not chasing the game. The Caps have been able to, specifically in this period, do what Carolina did so well in complete fashion in Game 1. They've had a ton of offensive zone time.
Now Kotkaniemi wins the draw, and Gostisbehere's shot will be deflected away. Robinson wants to keep it in. Beauvillier tries to push it out. Puck in front of the Canes bench, and now Washington gets a stick, and it trickles out over the blue line. And good play by Kotkaniemi to send it back in. Hard shove on Duhaime by Walker. Allows the Canes to work this into the corner. Blake, I don't know if this is a change, but he is joining Kotkaniemi and Robinson on this line. Out in front, Robinson knocks it down. Whipped out, but Walker keeps it in. He goes down the right wing boards. Now Kotkaniemi inside the blue line. His shot is deflected by Dowd over the glass into the netting.
I absolutely believe it's a change. Moving some wingers around because you just haven't had the jolt that you're looking for. I mean, it's that simple. And in particular on the right side, you can move your pieces around, whether it be Jackson Blake, Seth Jarvis, Logan Stankoven. And the one other thing, Mike, right before we went to break, when you're trying to establish your forecheck, we often speak about Svechnikov holding on to pucks. He had a puck in the hash marks at the boards on his forehand. If he just holds on to the puck, he's on his forehand, he can get to the middle of the rink. That's one of those situations, and it's across the board. Hold on to pucks for an extra second if it's available.
Roslovic wins it clean back for Chatfield, but that's snagged by Thompson on the long drive with no traffic out in front.
Yeah, we're seeing some movement in the lines right now. I mean, right now you have Roslovic with Stankoven and Hall, and you know, I give Rod credit because when you look at just about the halfway point of this game, you know, he hasn't gotten what he's looking for. Right time to make some subtle adjustments.
And the Canes are moving left to right on your radio dial or iPhone, iPad, or whatever device you're consuming this playoff game on. As this is hurled into the Cane zone, Mangiapane will come up with it. We'll work it back to the right point. Van Riemsdyk back down low. Bouncing puck directed towards Andersen, knocked away by Chatfield. Radish with it. His pass deflected. Eller trying to play it away, and he does from Chatfield. Radish, watched by Orlov. Behind the net. In front of Zeller. Good stick by Orlov. And the Canes want to go the other way. And here comes Hall. Down the boards, back for Stankoven. He's taken down behind the play by Van Riemsdyk. Washington able to get the puck to Mangiapane.
Good play from Van Riemsdyk right as Stankoven was about to fire that puck. He had pinched, so he was essentially like a forward coming back, shoulder to shoulder.
Now Aho fires one off the end boards that Thompson will leave it there for Carlson. And Washington is able to clear this one past Slavin. Connor McMichael will get to it. Burns with a good defensive play. And McMichael back down low for Dubois.
Jarvis with Aho.
Now it's Slavin working on Dubois. Dubois muscling his way to the side of the net, but he'll lose the puck, and Jarvis gets it up for Svechnikov. Svechnikov wanted to find Aho, who's darting in behind the defense, but it'll be knocked over the blue line. Aho was there early and offside as Carolina with 10:32 left in the second.
This is the absolute right time to get Jarvis back with Aho and Svechnikov. Other than not holding on to pucks, I haven't minded Svechnikov in this game. He hit Carolina's best chance on the backhand. He hit the juncture of the crossbar and the post. Aho hasn't looked like Aho tonight. And we know the magic that exists between he and Seth Jarvis. Right time to put those two in particular back together.
Almost at the halfway point of this pivotal game number 3 of the second round matchup between the top two teams in the Metro Division. 10:32 left here. Along with Trip Tracy, our technical tandem of John Brockwell here in the booth with us, and Rusty Helzer back in the studio in Raleigh. We thank you for joining us here on the Canes Radio Network. And now Washington will ice this puck, so the Canes will get an offensive zone draw.
You know, Mike, when you're trying to get your forecheck going and reverse this offensive zone possession time that the Caps have had the advantage, you know, a couple things you can do when you're coming through the neutral zone. Chip it, get it deep with speed, use the wall as your friend. Carolina just with the Aho Svechnikov Jarvis line had a chance to indirect the puck off the wall.
Now this face off to the right of Thompson. Martinook will come get it. Canes want to keep it in, but St. Dean gets a stick to it, not out. Ovechkin will turn and flip this one high off the glass, and you can hear it. That's icing again on Washington. So We now start to have the game of face-offs here as we come to the midway point of the second period.
And Rod comes right back with this newly created line that has a history. And Aho, Jarvis, and Svechnikov. Aho has not looked like Aho tonight. This is a perfect time to start looking like Aho.
Big chance for that to happen. And Aho wins it right back. Slavin, Svechnikov from distance, blocked up high though, as Carlson got in front of that. And he'll hammer this one around the boards into the Kane zone where Protas gets to it. His centering attempt, too much mustard on it for Ovechkin, and the Canes coming the other way. Making a play is Svechnikov down the right wing boards. Back to Burns. He's shot with traffic, but Thompson sees it and can hang on.
Did you see how Svechnikov held on to the same spot that he didn't hold on to it a few minutes ago? He held on to it, created a good chance from the defense.
Past the halfway point of the second period. 9:49 left here in the second frame. Still looking for a goal. Canes and Caps here on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
To us, every moment matters. Moments of quiet perseverance and loud celebrations. Starting moments and the moments that make us feel unstoppable. We're here to help you be present for them all. UNC Health is dedicated to getting you back to what you love. Faster, stronger, and healthier. Official healthcare provider of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Who wants to save up to $1 a gallon on gas with Harris Teeter fuel points? It's easy. Shop at Harris Teeter with your Vic card. Earn 1 fuel point for every $1 spent. Redeem your points for gas savings at Harris Teeter fuel centers in our partnering Amoco and BP gas stations. You can even check your fuel points in the Harris Teeter app. Get 4 times the fuel points when you shop on Fridays. Harris Teeter, in food with love.
For almost a decade, the Hurricanes have trusted their t-shirt needs with Cardinal Apparel. Carolina Hurricanes alumni Shane Willis here to tell you Cardinal Apparel has expanded and relocated to better serve their clients across the state. Formerly known as Raleigh Screen Print, Cardinal Apparel will produce high-quality screen printing while working directly with customers. Don't waste your time online trying to order through third-party vendors. Save money and time working with Cardinal Apparel. Visit cardinalapparel.com to start your order today.
Just past the midpoint of the second period here at Lenovo Center in Raleigh. And with Chip Tracy, Mike Maniscalco here on your Hurricanes Playoff Radio Network. Chip, what more do you need to see from Carolina that we haven't seen so far in 30-plus minutes?
The Canes are starting to show signs of building something. With these line adjustments, their top 2 centermen are starting to win face-offs. They're starting to hold on to more pucks offensively. To this point, Washington has kept this capacity crowd out of the game for solid stretches.
Well, the Canes win this offensive zone draw. Orlov has that shot blocked, and it'll be worked back into the Canes zone. Again, that's a familiar refrain as Duhaime had the block and sends it back into the Canes end. And this will be chipped and sent behind the net of Andersen. Beauvillier will come up with it. Anthony Beauvillier will get it back for Duhaime. Chipped off the boards and unable to keep it in is Chikrin at the left point. Chance for Beauvillier. Sidesteps Roslovic's hit. Duhaime, Dowd. I don't want to do it, but the net of Frederik Andersen knocked off.
By
we'll get a whistle.
Yeah, by a Washington player, so no penalty on the play, but it should be a neutral zone draw.
It will be.
You know, the Caps have come close on a variety of occasions in this game, going from low to high in the attacking zone, which is vintage Carolina in their forecheck when they're going. They just tried to do it. Chikrin, fortunately, wasn't able to keep a puck in. But if you, first things first, come up with pucks below the Washington goal line, let's see if Carolina can start going low to high, like Martinook did in the overtime winner to Slavin back in Game 1.
Maybe it feels like it as this puck is deflected out of play, and a lucky fan from Okokoke's got a souvenir here. 9:07 left.
Where is Okokoke?
So out on the coast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Great job, the huge Caniacs there at Okokoke.
I get a seating chart where everybody is. They let me know where they're from.
They must have some really good fresh seafood.
Oh,
Okokoke.
Yeah, they do. So you'd love it being the angler you are.
Yes, I would. I'd love to get a blue marlin out there, but you can't. That's not an eating fish.
Big game, though.
Well, you know that's what I go after.
Absolutely. Kotkaniemi goes after the puck in his own zone. He'll play it away from Eller. Up for Gostisbehere. He goes rink wide. A little too far there. It'll be scooped up, and good play made here as Walker will get to it. He sends it around the boards. Eller, though, will knock it out. Gostisbehere right back on it. It'll be chipped in, and Van Riemsdyk behind his net. Kotkaniemi wanted to get to it, but couldn't, and this one touches Andersen. Did we get an inadvertent whistle?
No, I think it's icing. Or is too many men, Mike? Is it? No, it's icing.
Yeah.
Do you know what just happened there that was really impressive? The linesman was on one side of the ice, the veteran Johnny Murray. And Dan O'Rourke, he's not in charge of the lines, but he was trying to figure out if that icing play, if it was on target and Andersen got a piece of it. Murray was blocked. He couldn't tell. And O'Rourke motioned to him that Andersen did not get a piece, therefore call icing. Really good teamwork between a linesman and an official.
And from this angle, it looked like Andersen had to play it.
And that's where Johnny Murray was looking. O'Rourke was the guy with the clean look. That's really good teamwork by those two veterans.
As either way, Washington clears it, but the Canes throw it right back in. As Carrier, when you talk about the line changes, burns his stick, shatters as he tries to keep it in. Now McMichael with it. Slavin knocks that pass away as it was intended for Wilson. Carrier is now with Martinook and Stahl. Stahl with it behind the net. Martinook has his stick flung out of his hands about a mile into the air. Now this one comes back, shot whipped right through. A chance for Walker. Now it'll come back. Martinook trying to get his stick. Wilson's on it. They're going to let everybody play on. Slavin gets it to Stahl. Works his way through. A save by Thompson. Sprawling save. Puck still free. Canes will kick it back to the point. Slavin with it. Around the boards it goes. Kept in by Walker. Walker's drive will be caught and hung on to by Thompson. And now Carrier is going to have a little stick slashing session with Chychrun.
Maybe the best forechecking shift of the night by Carolina. And do you know what the most critical piece to it was, Mike? Off of the previous offensive zone faceoff, Burns had his stick break in half. Long second period change. He was a long ways from the bench. And Slavin, I think, with his hockey IQ, knew it. Washington had numbers in transition. But I think he played it more aggressively, knowing you could not retreat to your own end. Brent Burns with no stick. And he anticipated a pass in his own blue line. You go back the other way, and all of a sudden go on the forecheck. That all started with Jacob Slavin. And he's not in the booth with us, but I think he was as aggressive as he was because Burns had no stick.
Well, now there's 7:29 left here in the second. The Canes have been aggressive in this game. Now Svechnikov comes in off the draw, and he scores! Off the face-off! Carolina strikes first. It's 1-0 Hurricanes.
Mike, you know how often we talk about diving in on face-offs. It's not just a centerman statistic. You have to have wingers that dive in. And Svechnikov dove in. He was in a battle with John Carlson because he dove in with purpose and quick feet. It was actually a Washington face-off win. But he dove in, outwilled Carlson to get to the puck, and high heat over the shoulder on the short side, a location we've been talking about. Individual effort diving in for the all-important first goal, and this place is going bonkers.
Andrei Svechnikov, his 6th of the postseason. His first point of this series has put Carolina up 1-0 here at Lenovo Center. And that was the jolt of electricity to jumpstart this crowd.
You know, I talked to Andre No Morning Skate earlier today. It was game 3 back in 2019. He was having a great series. His bout with Ovechkin, so scary at the time. He was done for the series. Carolina won the series, but how far he's come, hockey gods. He gets the first goal of the game, and he earned every bit of it.
It's his 21st career postseason goal. And now we'll see if the Canes can get a little bit more juice As this is knocked all the way back into the Washington zone. Caps quickly on it. He'll play it to the Canes end, but Blake and company to it. Blake for Kotkaniemi. Nice play by Kotkaniemi to hold on to it to let Blake chase after it. Along the right wing boards. This comes out for Protas. Protas. He's got some room through center ice. Protas lays it off for Dowd. Dowd shot. Andersen makes the save. Rebounds available. Carolina will just pitchfork this one to center ice. Good play by Gostisbehere to get the change. Now Washington, Dowd wants to play it in. He'll lose it. Svechnikov with it. He's got Aho with him. Aho, wait, cross ice, too far for Gostisbehere. He'll play away from Ovechkin. Up top, it's Jarvis. His shot's blocked. That'll deflect into the corner. Aho, he'll keep it down. It'll work its way. Alexiev, he's given a shove by Jarvis, but the puck comes free, and Strome is able to get to it, but he'll lose it to Chatfield, who feeds Jarvis into the Washington zone. And Jarvis has a shoulder on Protas. Washington come the other way. Drop back for Chychrun. His shot deflects over the top of Andersen's net. He didn't see where it was. It bounced to the blue paint to his right, and Carolina will just ice this one, and they'll take the defensive zone draw.
You've got to be careful with the most momentum you've had all night. If you're Jarvis, about 10 feet inside the blue line in the Washington end, if you're going to challenge the middle of the ice with a pass, you've got to be sure. Otherwise, keep it going deep. Ride this wave of momentum. Because Washington picks it off, back they go the other way. Chychrun ends up getting a really good chance through traffic, and he just missed high.
Now Dubois against Aho. It'll be played by Jarvis around Chychrun. Out of the zone, Washington, though, back in. Dubois had it for a moment. Svechnikov with a good stick. He'll get this in deep. He'll direct traffic as he goes for a change. Chychrun plays it along the boards. Up for Wilson. But they're going to say offside. It's going to be touched with a high stick. And that will give us a chance to put the face-off outside of the Cane zone with 5:23 left here in the second. If you're the Carolina Hurricanes, you needed to get a spark. It's been delivered by Andrei Svechnikov. His sixth of the playoffs, first of the series, has Carolina up 1-0 with 5:23 left here in the second period. You're listening to Canes Playoff Hockey on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
Hey everyone, Adney and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch the movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit. The cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Barbecue season is back. Hey, it's Ellen. And this is Sarah Beth. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese, I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and a Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything's possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
5:23 left here in the second. Hurricanes lead the Capitals 1-0 here in game number 3 of this best of 7 second-round matchup in the Eastern Conference. And Trip, Andrei Svechnikov, as we got into the playoffs this year, the talk was he's got to be the difference. Can he be the difference? Well, he has 6 goals right now for the Carolina Hurricanes in 8 games.
Well, Andersen has been their MVP to this point. There's no question about that. But behind their goaltender, the Great Dane, I think next guy up, I mean, you think about Slavin, but Svechnikov is right there. And just infinitely more shooting confidence than he had at any point during the regular season.
As the Canes Trying to clear this one out. Strome had it. Burns, though, bounces this one. I'm going to say that it deflects and no icing, so Karlsson's got to go back into his own end and play this one.
And he's playing proactive, not reactive hockey, Svechnikov. The fact that he beat a tremendous veteran like Karlsson off of the wall there to dive in before his shot did the rest. Little whistle, puck goes into the netting in the Washington zone. And I've talked to Andre about it. I talked to him, like I said, at length this morning. Because I said, Andre, how far you've come since that scary incident with Ovechkin in Game 3. Thinking about Game 3. This is your time. I've spoken to him about that beautiful power play goal in a meaningless Game 82 in Ottawa. I personally think whether he thinks it was important for his shooting confidence or not, look at what he's done as a shooter after that goal in all these games in the playoffs.
Good point there, partner. 4:44 left here in this second period. Washington will send this puck in the Kane zone. This will be icing, so an offensive zone draw here for Carolina.
I give you the credit because things started turning for Carolina after being outplayed after you mentioned the fan in Okokoke.
Yeah. Beautiful place.
I'm just telling you. I mean, go back to that moment.
I'll see what I can do.
Puck over the glass, and a lucky fan from Okokoke, Blue Marlin territory. The Canes have played their best of the night.
Face off. Again, they were inspired by you wanting to get that Blue Marlin. Now here's Shane Gostisbehere with it. Inside the blue line, his shot blocked by Mangiapane. To the boards it goes. And right in front of the Canes bench, it'll be knocked out by Duhaime. Karlsson with it. John Karlsson feathers one out in front. Radish can't get to it. And now it works its way out of the zone. Hall to Stankoven. Right back to Hall. Hall tries, shoots, low shot. And the save's made. Thompson kicks it out. Rebound. Roslovic. He'll send this one for Hall. Now it'll be sent back for Stankoven. Canes trying to run the weave a little bit. Backhand pass Stankoven. Gostisbehere. Walker's shot. That's bunted out in front. Washington can clear. Wanting to run with it is Mangiapane. Getting a stick to it is Walker. What a play by Sean Walker defensively.
Sure was, because Washington was winning the race to the net. Had he not done so?
Now Martinook into the Washington zone. His centering attempt goes off the stick of Chatfield. A long drive by Carrier is intercepted by Ovechkin. And now it's worked in. Roy will drop it back for McMichael. A chance here for Washington. Wilson knocked down by Chatfield. Stahl will come up with it. Angle pass along the boards intended for Carrier. Sandin flips it back in. Orlov with Wilson hunting him. Wilson, he'll bang Chatfield to the boards. Chatfield right back up. Carrier reaches in. Chatfield keeps it away from Wilson. Now a stretch pass will be deflected in by Carrier. Thompson uses the stick to knock it away from Stahl. Up for McMichael. Dubois. A little one-touch going cross-corner in the Kane zone. Slavin run into by Beauvillier, but it's Blake wheeling through the neutral zone as that's going on behind the plate. Blake fans on his shot. Knocked to the corner where Kotkaniemi comes up with it. He'll get it to Slavin. Slavin wrists one. Robinson trying to get to the rebound. Penalty coming up to Washington on Alexiev.
First power play of the night coming up. Kotkaniemi got a piece of that Slavin point shot. That really was a big part of eventually drawing the penalty. Thompson, the tip save with the right toe was a beauty. Carolina, in the last several minutes, is coming out of their own end way cleaner and quicker than they have for the majority of the night. Announcement coming on the penalty.
No, still
penalty number 27, 2 minutes for hooking.
It's going to be Alexiev.
Yep.
And give credit to Blake. Carolina getting to the inside. Kotkaniemi inside the dots in the Washington zone. Kotkaniemi had done it for a good tip chance. So did Blake, and because of that, Alexiev, who is their sixth defenseman, so you can take advantage of him. His stick came up parallel. You scored your first power play goal of the series on your last power play. Can you build on it here?
If the Canes put the biscuit in the basket on this power play tonight, get a free Bowberry biscuit at participating Bojangles tomorrow morning. Bojangles, it's bow time. First chance for the Canes on the man advantage in the series. They are 1 for 6. And now they'll win this draw and they'll get it. And here's Gostisbehere loading the cannon, and his low drive kicked away by Thompson. Blake, he'll whip it around the boards for Svechnikov. He'll settle it down. Watched by Dowd. Played back for Jarvis. Jarvis walks the blue line. Hands it to Gostisbehere. Aho, top of the right circle. He'll take it back from Svechnikov. Now it's teed up. Jarvis's shot. That'll miss everything and come out of the zone. Gostisbehere tips it back. Kane's a little loose with the puck. Jarvis, though, makes a play to get it to Svechnikov. Canes have a 3-on-2, rushing the other way. Aho with a shot. Thompson waves at it, and off the glass and out of the zone it comes.
Two of your best chances. Jarvis, the one-timer, Aho off the rush, both going to the blocker's side. Carolina's missed the net. You got to hit the net.
Now Jarvis plays away from Protas. 1:05 left on the man advantage for Carolina. Blake. He'll drop it for Gostisbehere at the right point. Svechnikov wants it, low drive, rebound available. That's kicked to the side. Thompson with another good pad save. Svechnikov, Gostisbehere wanted to get it through, blocked by Wilson. And that'll go back into the Kane zone as Tom Wilson makes the play up high. Gostisbehere with it as Carolina changes up their power play personnel. Kotkaniemi to Stankoven across the line. Burns with it. It'll be settled down by Roslovic. Back for Burns. Now Carolina. They score on the power play! What a shot and what a goal! Yes, Barry Kotkaniemi and Jack Roslovic loading it up, and Roslovic back in the series and on the board.
Since Roslovic re-entered the lineup in Game 2, after a few games out when Jankowski came in, he has been impactful. And you know his ability when he gets a chance to finish. Give Kotkaniemi credit. Puck went from Burns to the umbrella to Roslovic. Kotkaniemi had a good net front, and then he popped out to make at least Logan Thompson think about, because Kotkaniemi was on his forehand, that Roslovic would go to him. Short side available because the goaltender was cheating for a pass, and Roslovic with a power play goal extends the lead and makes a big impact.
Two things. A power play goal for Carolina and late in the period. Now Washington coming the other way. Andersen has to make the save, and a penalty coming up to the Canes. As charging to the front of the net was Washington, and Carolina on the clear. Van Riemsdyk is going to draw this as Washington was heading to the front of the net.
Is it going to be 2 or is it going to be 4? Was there an injury on the play? Van Riemsdyk skating to the bench as we speak.
Now we're going to have to wait for that announcement as it's coming up right now.
Is there any chance it was friendly fire?
Carolina penalty number 11, 2 minutes for high sticking.
Which you can't take a look at.
No.
Turner's doing this game. They have not put the replay up yet. Rod is up on the bench. He would have gotten a quick look at it. Was there any chance it was friendly fire in front? There was no high stick on the play. There was... Jordan Stahl's stick was to his left, and Van Riemsdyk absorbed, I have to call it, a phantom high stick on the other side. The supposed high stick came on the opposite side as to where Stahl's stick was. And you know whose stick caught him? It was a Washington player. That was friendly fire.
Was it Dubois?
It was Dubois. You know what the problem is here? Because there was not an injury on the play, in which case you'd be able to review it, and then you could have wiped it off the board. If there had been an injury to Van Riemsdyk, you could have pulled out the tablet, and then you would have wiped the whole thing off the board. That's a tough break.
It was friendly fire, but now Martinook, shorthanded, coming in. Martinook across for Aho, too far. And Washington can turn it up. Strome, 33 seconds left here in the period. Strome, top of the circle, and it's deflected over the top of the net. Andersen had to be ready there. Chikrin jumped all the way up. Now it's Ovechkin. He'll get it across for Wilson. Down low is Strome. Strome to Wilson. Loose puck. It'll be tipped out by Slavin. Not all the way out. Strome. 10 seconds left here in the period. Carlson hands it. Ovechkin tees it up and it hits off of Wilson. Kicks to the side. Andersen sprawls. To the corner it goes. Sharp angle, and the period comes to a close.
Great stuff, Mike. What a second half to the period. Your power play builds on the first power play goal of the series in Game 2. And even though referees say they don't, you can bet they're going to look at that between periods. They're going to know it's a tough job down there, but they're going to know that this power play that Carolina is going to have to continue to kill from Washington shouldn't have been won in the first place.
Well, there'll be a minute 16 left of the kill to the Canes captain to start the third period, but the Hurricanes have a 2-0 lead. Andrei Svechnikov, Jack Roslovic, and the Carolina Hurricanes take a 2-0 lead to the intermission. Our report coming up with Adam Gold. You're listening to Playoff Hockey. It's game number 3, and the Carolina Hurricanes have a 2-0 lead after 40 here on the Hurricanes Radio Network.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I tell people all the time, every single company that I endorse, it's about customer service. You guys are amazing. What is the philosophy of Aluminum Company?
So for us, it's all about helping customers out, right? If you want us to look around and see what windows are the worst, or if you need some doors and windows, we put together a package that works for the customer. There's no pressure. We absolutely try to help with financing options.
800-672-4348 or aluminumcompany.com.
Enjoying the game? Hempy's can help. Hempy's is North Carolina's favorite hemp and CBD shop, and as long as you order before 9 p.m., local same-day delivery is absolutely free. Hempy's products are made with clean, natural ingredients, and each product is lab-tested to ensure quality and safety. Visit hempys.co to check out the inventory. And remember, orders placed before 9 p.m. get free same-day delivery. Or you can always stop by one of their 8 locations in North Carolina. Must be 21 or older to order. That's hempys.co.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Adam Gold inside Lenovo Center on the Lenovo Intermission report of a 2-0 Hurricanes lead over the Washington Capitals. We are 40 minutes down here for about 10 minutes of the second period, kind of waiting for Carolina to turn the tables. Remember, we're used to great second periods, weren't getting it. Then the captain's line, after a little bit of an adjustment, William Carrier going back with Jordan Staal and Jordan Martinook as Seth Jarvis was bumped up to the top trio. The captain's line had a big, heavy shift that included a big hit by Jordan Martinook on Tom Wilson, and that got the crowd going. Then off the next faceoff, Andrei Svechnikov turned a loss into a win and a big boy goal past Logan Thompson, blocker side high, and all of a sudden Carolina had a 1-0 lead. Then great defensive play from Sean Walker to knock down a 2-on-1 bid by Washington. I mean, it would have been a grade A scoring chance because there was nobody in front of the guy receiving the pass. And then Carolina got a power play, and Jack Roslovic beat Logan Thompson near side. Really not a good goal. If Freddie Andersen had given that up, Canes Twitter would have had kittens. Hurricanes with a 2-0 lead. A bad penalty, bad call on Jordan Staal gives Washington a penalty or power play, and they will have that hanging over into the start of the third period. Easy for me to say. We will take a break. We'll come back with highlights next.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
For almost a decade, the Hurricanes have trusted their t-shirt needs with Cardinal Apparel. Carolina Hurricanes alumni Shane Willis here to tell you Cardinal Apparel has expanded and relocated to better serve their clients across the state. Formerly known as Raleigh Screen Print, Cardinal Apparel will produce high-quality screen printing while working directly with customers. Don't waste your time online trying to order through third-party vendors. Save money and time working with Cardinal Apparel. Visit cardinalapparel.com to start your order today.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $100 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds winning range from 3.35 to 4.58. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Music on the Lenovo Intermission Report. Brought to you by Lenovo, official technology provider of the Carolina Hurricanes. 2-0 Canes. Spectrum gives us highlights. A connection built for everywhere. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum. Turning point in this game after Rod Brindamore changed his lines and he put William Carrier with Jordan Stahl and Jordan Martinook. The captain's line with a heavy shift, which turns into two really good scoring opportunities.
A chance for Walker. Now to come back. Martinook trying to get his stick. Wilson's on it. They're going to let everybody play on. Slavin gets it to Stahl. Works his way through. A save by Thompson. Sprawling save. Puck still free. Canes will kick it back to the point. Slavin with it. Around the boards it goes. Kept in by Walker. Walker's drive will be caught and hung onto by Thompson. And now Carrier is going to have a little stick slashing session with Chikrin.
Maybe the best forechecking shift of the night by Carolina.
Next shift, face-off, Svechtan.
Well, now there's 7:29 left here in the second. The Canes have been aggressive in this game. Now Svechnikov comes in off the draw, and he scores! Off the face-off! Carolina strikes first. It's 1-0 Hurricanes.
Such a big boy goal. Then Washington, in their bid to even the score, Sean Walker with the defensive play of the night.
Wanting to run with it is Mangiapane. Getting a stick to it is Walker. What a play by Sean Walker defensively.
Sure was, because Washington was winning the race to the net. Had he not done so?
Out of midair, Walker knocks it down and foils the try. Carolina gets a power play. Jack Roslovic in the left face-off circle.
It'll be settled down by Roslovic. Back for Burns. Now Carolina. They score! On the power play! What a shot and what a goal! Yes, Barry Kotkaniemi and Jack Roslovic loading it up, and Roslovic back in the series and on the board.
Power play goal, short side. Not a good one for Logan Thompson. With the Canes putting the biscuit in the basket, you can stop by any participating Bojangles until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Say I'm a Caniac, and it's Bo time to get your free Bo-Berry biscuit. Skate to Hurricanes.com for rules and participating locations. Spectrum is bringing us the next segment, too. Mike Solarte will join us to talk about it next.
Canes fans, something big is happening this season. Our favorite hometown technology giant, Lenovo, is celebrating 20 years in the Triangle, and we're all getting in on the fun. Grab your jersey and meet us at the Lenovo Center, the new name of the home arena of the Carolina Hurricanes. The Lenovo Center is just a slap shot away from Lenovo's headquarters in the Triangle. Come celebrate and cheer on the Canes this season at the Lenovo Center.
Who wants to save up to $1 a gallon on gas with Harris Teeter fuel points? It's easy. Shop at Harris Teeter with your Vic card. Earn 1 fuel point for every $1 spent. Redeem your points for gas savings at Harris Teeter fuel centers in our partnering Amoco and BP gas stations. You can even check your fuel points in the Harris Teeter app. Get 4 times the fuel points when you shop on Fridays. Harris Teeter, in food with love.
Adam Gold inside Lenovo Center, 2-0 Carolina after 40 minutes. Mike Solarte, Spectrum News. I was going to say in Charlotte, but you're all over the state of North Carolina.
That's true. I'm everywhere.
Spectrum News.
I'm a bad penny. I turn
the
up.
2024 North Carolina Sportscaster of the Year.
23.
My fault.
23.
My fault. All right, let's. Can you hear after the Svechnikov goal? Has your hearing returned?
Huh?
Exactly.
What a play. No, I mean, that is a prime example of the player that Svechnikov can be.
Yep.
When this wasn't anything, this isn't a designed play. They lost the draw.
Yeah.
And Svech, with that great burst, just jumps on a loose puck, beats his man off the circle, and in one motion goes upstairs on top. That's beautiful. Beautiful hockey.
Yeah, and Carolina had not generated a ton of scoring chances in the period.
Right.
Rod Brindamore, middle of the frame, flipped his lines around. He put Jarvis with Svechnikov and Aho. He had Carrier go with the captains, and he put Blake with Kokoniemi and Robinson, which should get some scoring opportunities because Blake is
creator. Yeah,
unbelievable creator.
Yeah.
But the captain's line flipped the game not too long after that with that shift. You and I were talking about it. The Martinook hit on Wilson completely re-energized everybody here.
Well, absolutely. You know, Martinook had lost his stick on the play, and so he's just trying to pick it up. And Wilson back skates, and he's facing the puck. He's throwing the puck.
Right.
But as he turns to make a play, it was just the perfect amount of timing that Martinook was trying to pick up his stick and looked and saw Wilson and said, "No, you need to move." Splat.
Excuse me.
And picks up his twig and goes. But, no, you're right. But in Carrier as well. Carrier's banging around out there like a bowling ball. And the way that one shift that ended with Carrier kind of chopping at the defender, you know, after the whistle, kind of establishing that tone, kind of establishing that, okay, enough's enough. We want to take control of this hockey game and perhaps take control of the series.
You know, what's interesting is that the first two games in D.C., Carolina is certainly in the first period was dominant, didn't get anything out of it. In this game, Washington was the better team in the first period.
True.
Didn't get anything out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And in both those games in D.C., Washington got the first goal.
Yeah.
And Carolina, while not at any point the better team until the middle of the period, all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think that second period, you can call it even.
Pretty
Washington
much.
had the first 10, Carolina had the last 10, but Washington, like you're right, the first 20 was all theirs. And without Freddie Andersen playing the way he did, it could be it would have been 3-0 at least.
Right.
But yeah, you get that physicality, you get that grit, you get that sandpaper going, and that of course energizes all these people sitting around watching the game, and it's just a snowball effect. And so when Svech makes the big play, boom, just the place explodes. But the Roslovic power play goal, tough one for Tom. He wants that one back for sure.
Boy, does he ever.
But, man, that's a great shot, though.
Right.
Get it on net. And I want to see Carolina's D try to change their angles on those shots and have Washington stop eating so many pucks. Because Gostisbehere has been blocked at least half a dozen times because he's trying to get the shot away, but he's not making the defense move. He's not making that high forward move, get out of the way to get himself into the game. So I'd like to see him change his shot angles a little bit. But otherwise, now you're up 2. Foot on the gas.
Yeah.
This isn't prevent. Keep playing the way you're playing. The more opportunities you have to possess the puck, the fewer opportunities they have, you can win the game that
and
way.
That's the theory behind the way they play anyway,
play.
right?
Absolutely,
It's like watching the first two games and going, yeah, this is not a surprise to us. We've seen it for 82.
Right.
All these shots. And what are Washington never had the puck, really.
It's a game day that ends in Y, and Carolina's going to have 80-plus shot attempts. That's just the way it goes.
Unbelievable.
And it's on the opposition to have better possession time to prevent Carolina from doing that. Washington did a really good job in the first 20. Second period, it got away from them a little bit, and Carolina with 2 really, really nice goals. Now they've got the opportunity to take a 2-1 series lead. Got to win the third.
You got to win the third. Now, it's hard to say that Aho, Svechnikov, and Jarvis had chemistry because Andre did it all on his own. Real quick, before we go, because you said something, I actually put that on Twitter. The reason why this organization has not given up on Andre, because it was a tough year, right, was that.
Yeah.
What we saw.
That's the promise.
And what we have seen for the last 5 playoff games.
Absolutely.
That Andre.
He's the guy.
He is.
That's the Andre you want.
No, you're the guy.
Oh.
Mike Solarte, Spectrum News, the man. We'll take a break. We'll come back with a check of the NHL scoreboard after these words from your local stations on the Carolina Hurricanes Radio Network.
Make your next tailgate more electric when you plug into a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Not only do they light up the scoreboard with outstanding payload and towing numbers, with available Pro Power on board, you can turn these Ford trucks into mobile generators to give your tailgate party an extra boost of energy. Visit your Carolina Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com for great offers and to learn more about F-150 and Super Duty. See owner's manual for important operating instructions.
What mom really wants for Mother's Day is found at Crabtree. Crabtree has more than 200 stores and all of mom's favorites. Shop Altered State, Apple, Banana Republic, Brahmin, Brooks Brothers, Coach, Lululemon, Michael Kors, Sephora, and Tommy Bahama. Celebrate her even more by treating mom to a delicious meal at Fleming's Prime Steakhouse and Wine Bar or Seasons 52. Your mom deserves the best. Show her with the perfect gift from Crabtree, the Southeast premier shopping and dining destination for more than 50 years.
Yeah. 2-0 Hurricanes on the Lenovo Intermission Report. Second period scoreboard is brought to you by Lenovo, official technology provider of the Carolina Hurricanes. Andrei Svechnikov with the goal that nearly broke Lenovo Center, gave Carolina a 1-0 lead, and then the Canes get a power play goal from Jack Roslovic, and they now lead it 2-0. And Hurricanes now have scored on their last 2 power plays. They still have to kill off about a little bit more than a minute of power play time for the Capitals, and a really tough call on Jordan Stahl, who was in the vicinity when Washington high-sticked itself, and Jordan went to the penalty box. When the Canes play on the road in the playoffs, you can join Stormy and the gang at Carolina Ale House. This next Canes watch party is at the Carolina Ale House in Cary. Exclusive Canes playoff watch party sponsor. Hurricanes got 20 minutes to play to take a 2-1 lead in this series to Monday night. Mike and Tripp will have the third period. Carolina's got to kill a power play. Next.
Barbecue season is back. Hey, it's Ellen. And this is Sarah Beth. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese,
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and a Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Hey everyone, Adney and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch this movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit, and the cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We get ready to start the third period here at Lenovo Center. Game 3 of this Eastern Conference second round matchup. Carolina leading 2-0. Well, they have a minute and 16 of a power play to kill off here alongside technical guru Tripp Tracy. I'm Mike Maniscalco.
Well, hang on. Before hopefully Carolina kills off a penalty they shouldn't have to kill off. I thought it all changed and Carolina came alive when you mentioned Okrakok. And do you know, I'm going to hit you with some quick trivia because we got a second before the faceoff. There's a huge Caniac whose ship went down there.
Would that be Blackbeard?
You bet. And Blackbird is tuned in and hoping for a good early penalty kill to set the tone of the third period.
You know that Cam Ward used to have Blackbeard on his mask. That's a good...
Tying it all together.
A good omen for Carolina as we start the third period. Washington wants to get it in the Cane zone, but Burns bounces this one all the way through. One other thing that's interesting to note here. The Canes in second periods this postseason have outscored their opponents 11-6. In the third period, Tripp, they've outscored their opponents 8-3. They need to keep that second and third period mojo going here as Washington on the power play. They've got 40 seconds left. Chychrun along the right wing boards. He'll spin it down. Strome walks his way through. Shot right on Andersen. Makes the save. Now it's Slavin to Burns. Wilson has a shove, but Burns gets it up for Aho, can't clear. Chychrun keeps it in. Now Chychrun inside the blue line. He'll hand this one for Strome. Strome tied up by Burns, and Aho will send this one 135 feet, and Thompson will leave it behind the net.
Because Strome was dealing with Carolina's stellar play away from the puck to Andersen's left, his only choice was to shoot the puck. Freddie very committed to make a body save, but really good play away from the puck.
And now another chance is out of the box comes Stahl. The Canes penalty killers do the job. But Washington will bounce this one down. Dubois with a shot, and another body save made there by Andersen. Kick to the corner. Dubois will keep it in. Back for Roy. Roy's shot doesn't get through. Blocked before it could find the target by Jarvis. Now it's worked left to right. A chance for Washington to go down deep. It's Sandin. He'll peel this into the corner. Up top. Roy, that's blocked up high. Another block by Seth Jarvis.
Those were two excellent defensive plays. Really an extension of the power play. First, Jarvis's skate, and then his stick in the shooting lane. Big plays.
And now a loose puck in the Kane zone. That'll be swatted to the Washington blue line by Jackson Blake. And it'll be knocked in deep. Van Riemsdyk tries to play it away from Blake. He does. Up the boards and back into the Kane zone. Andersen goes out in the trapezoid to play it around. Off the body of Radish, though. Caps can keep this into the corner. Taylor Hall all the way back to help out. Off the boards. He gets it to Jesperi Kotkaniemi. And now this is chipped back into the Washington zone. Blake for Hall. Getting to its Eller. They'll clear this one, and Washington trying to get their engine started. Can't do it. They'll be offside. Great defensive play.
How good has Walker been tonight? He's the guy that cuts the head off the snake right there at his own blue line. As Washington had some speed and numbers.
He has been undervalued for sure with what he's been able to bring with that speed and a little bit of physicality.
And skill. He's the guy that set up Jarvis for that shorthanded breakaway in the first with Burns in the box.
Now Roslovic, who had his first of this postseason, a power play goal, helps lead this across. Robinson, he goes under the crossbar and scores! It's a good goal for Eric Robinson. His first of the postseason, and it's 3-0 Carolina.
You want to talk about a back bar beauty, Mike. Give the primary assist to the penalty kill to set the tone for the beginning of the period. Robinson's built for the playoffs. He turned John Carlson. Carlson has lost key battles on the first and now third goals. Lost the battle with Svechnikov on the first one. He cheated here at his own blue line, and Robinson's speed gave him the shooting opportunity. And 3 goals over Thompson's shoulder. That was a shot of perfection. That should be in the dictionary when you look at, if you have multiple words, a back bar beauty.
For Robinson, it's his second career postseason goal. And for Carolina, they've now built a 3-0 lead here in Game 3. Ovechkin will keep this in as play resumes. Roy looks for a deflection from Ovechkin. Got it, but off the mark. Martinook plays it around Wilson. It'll be kept in, though. Down the boards. Good play by Strome. Wilson runs into Slavin. Carolina looking to clear. Sandin with a keep in. It goes behind the Canes' net. Wilson battles for it with Slavin. Stahl comes up with it. He'll get it to Martinook. Now Carrier. He'll dip this one in. Martinook hits Roy. Now Martinook takes the pass from Carrier, but it'll be deflected away. And good hustle there by McMichael, but a better stick by Chatfield. Orlov, his pass for Svechnikov. That's intercepted. And Protas, he'll hammer this one into the corner, but it takes a sharp bounce. And the Canes find Andrei Svechnikov. He'll lower the shoulder and play this around Chychrun. Van Riemsdyk to it. Aho comes up with a turnover. Tries to set up Jarvis. Orlov will get to it. He'll let a bouncer go, but Thompson gets the stick to it and will hang on.
You know, Mike, I talked to Eric Robinson before the playoffs. I mentioned there was a guy in Carolina that was an unsung hero in the first portion of the Washington series back in 2019. when you need unsung heroes to emerge. Once upon a time, the Capitals had a guy named John Druce that did it. Well, the Hurricanes, down 2-0 in that first round of 2019, the unsung hero was Warren Foegele. And I talk because Robinson has all the tools. Not surprising that he just did what he did.
Now the Canes win the draw, and it's hammered just wide by Gostisbehere. Walker with it inside the blue line. He plays it away from Duhaime. There's Robinson down low for Blake. Now jumping up on the plays, Gostisbehere. Washington just gets enough to clear it out. Canes right back on it. Walker. He'll leave this one here. Blake chips it down low. Robinson tries to get it to Kotkaniemi. Gostisbehere will seal it off. Blake keeps it in at the right point. Then his shot blocked by Dowd. But Blake, nice play in the neutral zone to knock it away. He'll put it in deep and head to the bench.
He did not chase a mistake. He needed to get that first one by Dowd, but he immediately moved his feet to prevent what would have been a breakaway from Dowd. Didn't chase it.
Now Andersen has to help this one around the boards. Up for Stahl to Martinook. Martinook creates some room. Angles in. Low drive goes just wide. Rebound. Bounces away from Carrier, but Stahl is able to get to it behind the net. Carrier looking for Martinook out in front. That bounces over his stick, and Protas has it across the blue line. Protas tied up by Burns.
Canes have made John Carlson, the terrific player that he is, look pretty darn human tonight, haven't they?
You got to take advantage of it, and the Canes have done just that. Now Orlov will get this one in deep for Carrier. Carrier wants to feed it to Stankoven. Tip it down low, Carlson. This pass goes off the official. Into the corner it goes. Stankoven pushes down Sandin. Again, just can't say enough good things about the compete of Logan Stankoven and what he brings to every shift. 13:45 left here in this third period. Carolina leads Washington 3-0. Game 3 in a series that's tied at 1. Canes at home this postseason, 3-0. Now Hall tries a little backhand pass from beneath the goal line, but Washington intercepts. Radish to it in the Cane zone. He's given a shove there by Walker. Sean Walker trying to fight for it. Back for Radish. Radish, though, has it taken away, and then a huge hit by Roy on Stankoven. It'll be the Capitals transitioning back to the other side. Mangiapane wants to center it. Chychrun with the blade to it, but it goes wide.
Because Aho was right on him. He was like a winger there on his defenseman. Here comes Aho the other way.
Now Aho dances across center ice through the logo. He'll play it off the boards. It's going to turn into a self-pass as he finishes Chychrun. He'll play it around the boards. Roy is given a hard shove by Svechnikov, but Wilson will scoop up a loose puck.
How strong is Roy? I mean, Svechnikov tried to bury him, and legally so, after Roy had a really good clean hit on Stankoven. Roy's had a very good series.
He has. He's been a big part of that resurgence for the Caps this year. Now Wilson with it. He'll just flip it out to center ice where Burns paws it down. He'll get it to Aho, but he knows that his line needs to make a change. Aho and Svechnikov to the bench. Jarvis is going to follow suit right now. Wilson has it poked away. Here comes Robinson with a drive, and it's snapped up there by Thompson with a catching glove.
Whoa, take us to break. Robinson was going for the old two to tango.
He is feeling it right now, and so is this Caniac crowd at Lenovo Center. 12:10 left in the third. 3-0 Carolina in Game 3 of this second round matchup. You're listening to Carolina Hurricanes hockey on the Canes Radio Network.
To us, every moment matters. Moments of quiet perseverance and loud celebrations. Starting moments and the moments that make us feel unstoppable. We're here to help you be present for them all. UNC Health is dedicated to getting you back to what you love. Faster, stronger, and healthier. Official healthcare provider of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Hockey is a game of speed, and the Triangle is one of the fastest growing regions in the country. At the center of the excitement are Lenovo and the Carolina Hurricanes, partnering to unveil the Lenovo Center. With one of its global headquarters in the Triangle, Lenovo is the perfect partner to launch a new era of technology and fun. Don't miss out. Come check out the Lenovo Center and cheer on the Canes.
For almost a decade, the Hurricanes have trusted their t-shirt needs with Cardinal Apparel. Carolina Hurricanes owner Shane Willis here to tell you Cardinal Apparel has expanded and relocated to better serve their clients across the state. Formerly known as Raleigh Screen Print, Cardinal Apparel will produce high-quality screen printing while working directly with customers. Don't waste your time online trying to order through third-party vendors. Save money and time working with Cardinal Apparel. Visit cardinalapparel.com to start your order today.
12-10 remaining here in the third period. Hurricanes lead the Capitals 3-0 here, and this place is starting to get loud, Trip Tracy.
Sure is, and with plenty of work to be done. Mike, let's see if you can get inside my cerebellum. What's the story of the game?
Frederik Andersen.
You got that right.
And Frederik Andersen. And now Carolina with some high shots that have gotten through Logan Thompson have built the first multi-goal lead. Logan Stankoven just steps into Anthony Beauvillier and a clean finish there.
And then coming back on the defensive side of the puck to cause a turnover on Dowd, Jack Roslovic. He is really taking advantage of his opportunity back in the lineup.
It's a 2-point night for Roslovic. He had the power play goal and then the assist on the Eric Robinson marker that made it 3-0. Now a low drive. Andersen will get a piece of it. 11:35 left to go here in this third. Roy, he tries to go down low. Walker has a heavy shove for Beauvillier. Gostisbehere will clear this one to safety where Roslovic takes it. Roslovic wants to walk around St. Dean, snaps a shot. Thompson makes the save.
Going again after that short side shoulder. Talked to Jack about it late this morning. He hit the crossbar trying to do it. You've had success on a couple of your goals doing it. Thompson just made the save. Sharp angle on the blocker side.
Now Carrier finishes his hit, but Washington able to clear. Up for Martinook. Carrier tags up. Martinook hangs on. His rocket goes over the top of the net. He had Carrier and Stahl both crashing. Now Dubois loses the handle. Burns looking to make a pass. He's going to head to the bench. Worked around deep into the Washington zone for Connor McMichael. McMichael to Protas. Protas takes a whack there from Martinook. Now loose puck comes across, and what a block! Coming across to make the block. Guess who? Jordan Martinook, heart and soul. Martinook stung. Orlov has the puck. He comes back the other way.
He looked, being from Edmonton as he is, he looked like Grant Fuhr there. Two-pad slide. He's in a ton of pain on the bench. So it's going to be important to watch, even with his pain threshold. Looked like he got it with his skate boot. What a paying the price. Block from Martinook.
And now, Washington trying to get into the Kane zone. Can't do it halfway through the third period.
Martinook's going to the dressing room being helped off. So we're going to have to keep an eye on his status.
This puck is bounced high into the air and caught, hung on to by Thompson.
As you take us to commercial, Martinook is actually just behind the bench trying to put pressure on it, trying to fight through it.
We'll update you on that story and bring you the second half of this third period. 9:51 left in the third. Canes leading the Caps 3-0. You're listening to Hurricanes Playoff Hockey on the Canes Radio Network.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Who wants to save up to $1 a gallon on gas with Harris Teeter fuel points? It's easy. Shop at Harris Teeter with your Vic card. Earn 1 fuel point for every $1 spent. Redeem your points for gas savings at Harris Teeter fuel centers in our partnering Amoco and BP gas stations. You can even check your fuel points in the Harris Teeter app. Get 4 times the fuel points when you shop on Fridays. Harris Teeter, in food with love.
What? New scratch-offs are out. That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers. Call my mom more.
Oh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $100 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds winning range from 3.35 to 4.58. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
9:51 left in the third. Alongside Trip Tracy, Mike Maniscalco here with our technical tandem of John Brockwell in the booth with us, Rusty Helzer and Raleigh. And Lenovo Center, they booted up the computer, Trip, and they've got the volume as loud as it can go.
No doubt about that. Jordan Martinook is back in his slot on the bench. Got a huge tap during the break from Jeff Daniels, running the forwards, and trainer Doug Bennett. What a block.
Offensive zone draw, won by Carolina. Gostisbehere looks for a redirect. It goes off the inboards. Thompson uses that right hand. That's his glove hand, being a left-handed goalie, able to keep it out. Washington will swipe this into the Kane zone. Walker feels a hit coming, moves it around. Gostisbehere fans on the clear. Long drive by Eller. That goes wide. Canes trying to clear. Van Riemsdyk keeps it into the blue line just for a moment. Now to be knocked down. Here comes Blake. He'll send this across. Kotkaniemi, forehand, backhand, and Thompson makes the save, and he'll get a whistle. Oh, that would have been a highlight reel goal for Jesperi Kotkaniemi.
He's factoring in. He made a key contribution to Roslovic's power play goal. At this point, with just under 10 minutes to play, you'd be remiss if you did not mention Rod Brindamore's decision at 0-0 and not playing great. A lot of credit to Washington to shake the tree with the forward lines in the second period.
Now that has paid immediate dividends.
Immediate. And by the way, with Jordan Martinook, it looks like available. He's coming on the ice. Right now we're focused on this game, but since the Hurricanes inducted their Hurricanes Hall of Fame, I'm going to tell you right now, in my opinion, with what he's meant to the Hurricanes and what it means to him to be a Hurricane, if he didn't play another shift, I think he's a Hurricanes Hall of Famer.
You get no argument from me, and Senator, I will back your motion on the floor.
He's meant that much.
He has.
He epitomizes what it means to be a Hurricane.
Now it's Chatfield with a drive at the top of the right circle, and Thompson makes the save. I know you play the position, so I just have to ask you, Logan Thompson, when you talk about the stories, he has been the story for Washington in this series as well.
Look at what we talked about in Game 2 and early in this one. Over the shoulder, short side, or either from a sharp angles over either shoulder. Look at all three goals. The Hurricanes have really, I think, done their pre-scout. Now as Martinook finishes his shift, he heads to the room.
He actually heads to the room. Robinson has taken his place with Stahl and Carrier.
You just hope there's nothing broken. He might be going to get, x-rays of some sort. He means everything to the club.
Now, Stahl had a finish on Wilson to the delight of the faithful here, but Washington takes it the other way.
Oh, that was a charge.
Wilson goes hunting for Robinson. Robinson saw it coming. And now we're going to see if this series gets to a different tone. As Stahl with a hit there on Roy.
Stahl's two hits, one on Wilson and Roy. He didn't come from a big-time distance. Wilson came from a distance on his hit.
Now Orlov with a nice play in the neutral zone to set up Aho. Aho drops it back. Burns shooting his stick. Snaps in half again. That's the second time tonight that's happened to Brent Burns.
And that's amazing, too, because he doesn't use a lot of, it's a very stiff stick. It's not whippy. There's not a lot of flex to have that happen twice.
Now it's Dubois. He'll drop this back. McMichael. His pass goes off of the skates of Slavin. And Jarvis finds Aho. Across for Svechnikov. 2-on-1. Back to Aho. And that's airmailed over the net. Oh, what a good-looking 2-on-1 there. Aho was going high. And just a little too much elevation. Now Protas will take this the other way. Worked around the boards. Kept in. Carlson for Dubois. Inside the blue line. Pestered there by Slavin. Able to get it down deep. Svechnikov and Carlson will meet. And the loose puck will be skated away by Carolina. 7:25 left here in the third. Aho plays it in deep. Jarvis will get after it. Jarvis takes a peek. He finds Orlov along the left wing boards. Jarvis wanted to play that, but a nice play by Beauvillier. Anthony Beauvillier's shot, that'll be blocked by Walker, deflected over the glass and into the netting. 7:09 remaining here in the third period. Canes up 3-0.
You make a really good point. You're not there yet because it's 3-0 and Washington's got to feel as well they should. If they get one, anything can happen. But if you go 3 or 4 more minutes and you maintain this margin, that's where things could get ugly. And you're not there yet, but you just have to prepare for it in the event that it gets to that point. I would think Rod will use the depth of his bench should it get to that point, but we're not there yet.
Stahl and Carrier, they're out right now with Jarvis. Stahl asked to leave. Carrier takes the draw and wins it. That'll be knocked free, and Robinson back on this line. Stahl will carry this one in deep. Van Riemsdyk, he'll lose it behind the net to Stahl. Jordan Stahl, the captain, back for Orlov. His shot's deflected into the corner to the right of Thompson. Along the near boards it goes. Bouncing puck settled down by Roslovic. Little spinning backhand doesn't get through, but Walker keeps this one in. Robinson behind the net. He tries to step out with it, but Strome is able to get to it. And Robinson has one more hit before he'll head to the bench. That one on Van Riemsdyk. And behind the net, it's Alexiev. I don't know why the Canes faithful are booing. Let Alexiev take time off the clock. Excellent stick there out in front. Stankoven across Roslovic. Hall with a chance. And Thompson extends the pad. Roslovic with the keep it. He'll go to the side of the net with it. Turning with it is Stankoven. Trying to make a move. He'll get it to Hall, who waves at it, but can't settle it down. Stankoven with a great recovery to take it away from Protas. Canes keeping the pressure on here. Roslovic to Hall. Hall, he works it back. Burns shot. Kicked away Thompson. Hall with it. Back up top, Burns. Roslovic calling for a change. Stankoven behind the net, steps out in front through the blue paint.
Best shift is a Hurricane for Logan Stankoven, and he's had a myriad of great shifts.
Another play here as he makes it. Kotkaniemi gets it to Hall. He'll wind this one back for Burns. Burns' shot goes over the top of the net of Thompson. Slavin with a keep in at the left point. Stankoven inside the blue line. He'll go deep with it. Washington trying to clear. Can't do it. Dubois fails to get it out. Another play made by Stankoven. Now finally Roy gets a chance across the blue line. Canes intercept, and nobody for Washington can change up here. Canes keeping the pressure on. Blake, Gostisbehere, out in front. Kotkaniemi deflected just wide. Oh, what a pass made there by Robinson. Eric Robinson now for Gostisbehere. The Caps are gassed. Canes moving with alacrity. Kotkaniemi, he'll get a stick to it, but too far. Protas, he goes across ice, and finally Washington just eases it to center ice, and a whole bunch of tired Caps go for a change as Blake backhands one into the Washington zone, and now 4.5 left in the third.
Yeah, they were starting to go after Blake. Dubois did, and then Dowd did. This is where I would start to think about only having my bigger guys on the ice here down the stretch.
Now Walker with it. Up for Jarvis. Jarvis will pull away with it. Svechnikov, he wanted to go in deep. Chychrun gets to it. Bouncing puck finds Jarvis. His shot, though, will be deflected by Dowd over the glass into the netting. And now a little extracurriculars involving Svechnikov and Dowd.
This is where you get in there. Don't worry about the neutral zone draw. Get in there and help Svechnikov out. What a night he's had.
As the referees, now we've got more shoving here with Jarvis
and Chychrun. This is where you want to be a pack of wolves, stand up for one another, but you've got to know to make sure to protect yourself with a 3-0 game with just over 4 to play.
And we'll see if the temperature is coming down here now. With 4:10 remaining here in the third period, the Carolina Hurricanes have a 3-0 lead here in game number 3. We'll bring you the final 4:10 of regulation. After this, it's Canes playoff hockey on the Canes Radio Network.
Barbecue season is back.
Hey, it's Ellen. And this is Sarah Beth. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese, I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and our Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Hey everyone, Adney and Burke here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Burke and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or two. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch this movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit, and the cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Burke and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
4:10 left in the third. We broke a little bit early, but that's good because we've got a lot of time to explain what's going to happen now. Hurricanes are going on the power play as Nick Dowd was called for a 2-minute minor for roughing, and then another 2-minute minor. Andrei Svechnikov in the box for unsportsmanlike. After all that pushing and shoving, the Canes are going to be on the power play. Alexander Ovechkin serving the minor for Nick Dowd, which is 4 minutes of penalties for Dowd.
As he typically does. And Rod is going to go with his typical, well, no Svechnikov, so you're going to need a lefty to come in here. I think it'll be Taylor Hall. But you're going to go with your typical 4 forwards and just 1 defenseman. Because the Hurricanes came in to help out Svechnikov in the Washington zone, you'll start a power play with a neutral zone draw. That was the right time to come in and help out.
No,
and by the way, the maybe most important partner, Jordan Martinook during that commercial break, came back towards the bench. And I think the bench said, I'm speculating, but the bench said, no, you're hopefully done for the night. But I found that encouraging. He looked to be moving pretty well.
Yep.
And it looked like he wanted to come back. Of course he would, but they said, no. We're hoping you're done for the night in this circumstance with a 3-goal lead.
Now the Carolina Hurricanes are looking to salt this one away. They're 1 for 2 on the power play here tonight. They got a chance to deliver a knockout here in Game 3 on the man advantage. Washington was able to knock it back into the Cane zone, but here comes Aho. He'll gain and hand it off for Hall, who's taking Svechnikov's place on this group. Gostisbehere with it. Svechnikov in the box. Aho out in front. Hall with an extra shove, and Thompson is able to cover up that one in a face-off coming up with 1:31 left on the power play.
You've got Hall for Svechnikov, and Hall has had success with this group. You got a power play goal from the other group, so this is more importantly than providing a power play goal. You want to make sure you don't give up anything shorthanded, but you'd like to see this group simultaneously, even without Svechnikov, start to build something moving forward.
Let's see if they can work it back. Here's Gostisbehere to Jarvis. Jarvis fans on a seam pass, but able to get it down low and spun around by Blake. Hall behind the net to Aho. Up top, Gostisbehere inside the blue line. Back for Aho. Blake in the bumper in between the rings. Played off here, Jarvis. Gostisbehere tees it up. High side of the net. Blake tries a chance, and he scores! Jackson Blake deflects it past Logan Thompson. And another power play goal. And it's 4-0 Carolina.
Mike, what's something we often talk about with power plays? Convergence. What does that mean? When pucks go to the net, bodies need to go to the net. And Jackson Blake does that as well as anybody. Blake went outside to be a shooting option, as Hall had a really good net front, Good puck movement up top. Puck goes off the end boards, and immediately Blake had convergence to locate that puck off of the end boards before Roy, who has played outstanding, the Washington's defenseman, could adjust, and it had eyes beating Thompson low between the legs. That could be big time for Jackson Blake. Everything he's done. A little bit of a hesitant start to this series. He's come alive in this game. And that could really help him going forward.
And the Canes' power play trip is 2 for 2 tonight. That was just their second opportunity when everything was sorted out. Now Radish throws one out in front, and Andersen kicks it away. 3 minutes left here. And now Kotkaniemi into the Washington zone. Tries to work around Van Riemsdyk. And this trip for me would be to be mindful of how Washington wants to play out the end of this one.
Well, I mean, especially when Wilson's on the ice. You know, you just have to think about that. Boy, what an effort from the power play tonight. But this game, let's wait for a whistle. For me, I'll talk about it. Comes down to 2 individuals.
Well, and I know that it's become old hat to talk about it with the penalty kill as well. Had a big kill to start the third period. There's some momentum that had to be taken care of in the first period when Washington was buzzing.
Including a big penalty kill where Carolina had the best chance, that Jarvis breakaway.
And now we've got 2:05 left here in the third, as Chychrun has it knocked away by Orlov. Back into the Washington zone. Sandin sealed off by Hall. Strome will play this one free, and it's Beauvillier. Across for Sandin. Chipped into the Canes zone. The Canes fans chanting their appreciation for their netminder. Low drive by Ovechkin. Save made by Andersen. Now a puck backhanded out by Orlov. Back into the Washington zone. 1:25 left. Chipped away from Dubois. Skated away, it's Roslovic. Carrier into the corner, finishes his check on Alexiev. Washington will clear out to center ice. Sent back into the Washington zone. And the 18,000 plus in Lenovo Center on their feet, waving their towels.
In the video before the game, Jordan Martinook called the crowd here deafening. Great word. It's deafening right now.
47 seconds to go. Roslovic with it. He'll play it back for Kotkaniemi. He'll fling one. Thompson makes the save and kicks it away. 35 seconds left. Oh, the Carolina faithful want something, and they're 30 seconds away from it. Washington, Mangiapane into the zone. He's taking off the puck. And Mangiapane with a couple of shoves in the corner. 15 seconds left. Reached for Sandin with a blast. Redirected, Mr. Andersen. Another spectacular save from the Great Dane.
Close tip where he didn't bite on the fact that it was going to be a shot from the point. He is the story. We're only in the second round. There's going to be a penalty here. I think Mangiapane's night is going to be over. It'll give me a second to mention. Andersen has been the best goaltender so far in the Stanley Cup playoffs in the league. Consistently so. Both before his injury in the New Jersey series and since. And his numbers validate that. So he's the first star tonight. Washington played 30 really good minutes. And the other guy, when you needed somebody to make a play. Going back to that scary moment in Game 3, the bout with Alex Ovechkin. Hockey gods diving in off of the faceoff, outwilling John Carlson. The first goal was going to be massive in this game. That's the biggest goal. Individual efforts, Andersen and Svechnikov.
Faceoff to the left of Andersen. 5 seconds left. 4 seconds left. And it's a Frederik Andersen shutout. And the Carolina Hurricanes have taken a 2-1 series lead here in the second-round matchup with the Capitals. Frederik Andersen early, and then his teammates take over late. And Carolina with a 4-0 win will get ready for Monday night, a 7 o'clock face-off here at Lenovo Center against the Caps with a chance to take a 3-1 series lead.
Partner, game threes, if you look historically, and Carolina's had trouble in game threes, if you look historically, they are pivotal. And it wasn't easy, and the good news is that Carolina's going to say when they look at the first 30 minutes and how Freddie held him in, that they've got a lot better in them, especially in the starts to their games. Because this is now 3 sluggish starts. Game 2 New Jersey, Game 5 New Jersey, and Game 3 here tonight. You can sell that in a win. And so the Hurricanes, off of this outstanding pivotal Game 3 win, they're going to know to a man that they've got to get better. Hopefully, Jordan Martinook will be the warrior that he is. You know you'd need a back truck to get him out of the lineup with that gutsy shot block. And your special teams that hibernate, well, not your penalty kill, but your power play that hibernated briefly after that outstanding first round. 3 goals in its last 2 games here in this series.
Here are the 3 stars tonight.
Goal, number 37, Andrei Svechnikov.
His 6th goal of this postseason, tying with William Nylander for 3rd in the NHL postseason right now.
By far the biggest goal that Carolina scored tonight.
From the Carolina Hurricanes with a power play goal and an assist, number 96, Jack Roslovic.
Depth, big fella. How about the efforts of Roslovic and Jankowski in this playoff run so far?
Let the fans take it from here,
and
Mr.
the first
Tracy.
star of the game from the Carolina Hurricanes with the 21 save, shutout, number 31, Frederik Andersen.
He was magnificent in the first period and all the way through, kicking aside every Capital shot. His 4th career shutout in with the Carolina Hurricanes in the postseason. That's going to be his first shutout.
You know, Mike, as Adam Gold will take over, something that I know Adam and I have talked a ton about. If Frederik Andersen can stay healthy, look at his career save percentage in the Stanley Cup playoffs coming into this postseason. And I know it was .930 coming into this game and he just had a shutout. So it is a total misnarrative when people think that Freddie doesn't rise to the occasion in his career in the playoffs.
I know.
He's had trouble staying healthy. That save percentage coming into these playoffs, and now what, I'm no mathematician, but it came into the night .930, and it's going to be somewhere probably up around .935. He's been the best goaltender in any of the series so far. He's been the best goaltender halfway into the second round in the National Hockey League Stanley Cup playoffs.
You just have to leave it at that. And with that shutout, the Carolina Hurricanes now have a 2-1 series lead over the Washington Capitals. Game 4, Monday night, 7 o'clock right here on the Hurricanes radio network on 99.9 The Fan. Anything you want to add? You want to go foreshadow or look back one more on this one?
I just know the Hurricanes are going to know that, and it's the best part of winning. They're going to know they've got to be better.
Right.
In particular with their starts in this building, and that's a great sell when you're up 2-1. But the last thing, I've talked about it. I talked to Adam about it in the pregame show. I do believe in hockey gods. And Game 3 that Carolina won to get themselves back in the series in 2019 and eventually won, they lost their prize rookie in that game. And how far he's come since then to dive in, turn a face-off loss into a win. Best shooting confidence he's had in a long time, and score the all-important first goal. Because whoever got the first goal was probably going to win this game.
Yep.
When you look at a full cycle moment for Svechnikov before we move forward to Monday, that's pretty neat, considering what his Game 3 was that night in 2019 and what it was tonight.
All right, well, let's move out of here. Let Adam Gold wrap up this broadcast. That'll do it for us. Thank you, Tripper. Thanks to Rusty Helzer back in our studio in Raleigh. Thank you to The one and only John Brockwell. Brocky, thank you. Here in our booth. And for Chip Tracy, I'm Mike Maniscalco. A 4-0 shutout victory. Frederik Andersen's first ever shutout with the Canes in the postseason. 16th win with the Canes. Only one goalie has more postseason wins than Carolina, as Frederik Andersen has moved past Artur Zerbe for second all by himself. Did that a few games ago. The great Cam Ward is all that is in front of him when it comes to playoff wins. And right now, the Carolina Hurricanes are 2 wins away, but they're just thinking about Monday night when you can join us here, 7 o'clock. Adam Gold wraps up this broadcast. Thank you for listening along with me and Trip Tracy. We'll talk to you Monday at 7 o'clock. Game number 4, Canes versus the Caps. But game 3 tonight goes to Carolina, 4-0. They've got a 2-1 series lead in this best-of-7 second-round matchup. Adam Gold wraps up this broadcast along these fine radio networks on your Carolina Hurricanes radio network.
To us,
Back to your greatest remembrances of, again, almost letting the series slip away and then having that opportunity in Game 7 to come up big, which you guys clearly did.
Well, it just goes to show you that we felt back in 87, we were really at the peak of that team in some ways. Some people...
What if I open my soul? Here I stand by myself on my own. What if I lose all control and take a step out into the unknown? Oh, oh, oh. What do I know? Surprise. I'd rather want you to just let me be. Oh, oh, oh. What do I know? What's going on now? Is this another breakdown? You and me, should I let go? I do really want to know what's going on now. Another breakdown, you and me, should I say so? We're just putting on a show. Come on, get a grip now of all the ways we parted. You showed in your own way we would stand and we would fall united. Come on, get a grip now. Just finish what you started. Don't like the feeling that I've been fooled, deceived, and so misguided.